throw everything else out in this game, and the favored team usually loses. So, it's a great game. The kids compete. They know each other very well. People related back and forth across the county, and it's bragging rights throughout the county, and there's a lot that goes into this. Hopefully it stays nice. The last few years when we've had it going, it's been a really good rivalry, and some of the nastiness that was there years ago is gone, and it's a good game. Kids really enjoy it.
Again, we welcome you inside of the booth. This is the Snow College pregame show. Snow College, as you know, is in the top 10% in the nation in student success. Turn on your education and visit snow.edu, and we certainly want to thank Snow College for being with us here, again, helping us out to sponsor this one. And this should be an entertaining ball game, to say the least. Delta, coming into this one, as I mentioned, did not even get the kickoff last week, so we can't say a whole lot about them. I guess we could say, hey, we held Morgan scoreless last week.
You hung with the big boys for 1 week, yeah.
Simply because
0-0 tie.
Yeah, it didn't even get on the field as the rain came and then a ton of lightning, and then they waited around till 8:30 and finally said, okay, that's enough. And it's good we did cancel it. It just got worse throughout the evening, and I know that was the same thing over in Juab. And I got to watch a little bit of that first half live that they streamed through Centricom, and that was a lot of fun. And it looked to me, and you can certainly comment on this, Millard played a pretty tough ball game. I know they turned it over early in the game that gave Juab a touchdown right off the bat, but you throw that one out, and that's a pretty solid contest over there.
Yeah, that was the first touchdown. I think Millard fumbled inside the 10, like at the 5 or 6 yard line on a third down play, and they took him 4 downs, I think, or 3 downs to get it in. And then they pretty much held them the rest of the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Juab was able to get a broken play. Basically, they flushed the quarterback out, and the corner comes up to stop the quarterback from scrambling. He dumps one over the top, and they go for a touchdown. So other than that, really, Juab not able to do a whole lot. I was impressed with Millard's defense. Watching them in that game, I thought they were probably a little bit advanced from where I thought they would be. Very physical, hit hard, played well, quick to the ball. But their offense, oh my goodness, woefully lacking in that first half. I think they had 70 yards, and 49 of that came on one running play by Rubalcaba. Got loose for 49 yards and just woefully inadequate on offense. But in talking to the coach, there were a lot of things that he wanted to try, but he didn't want to try it until after halftime. And so he was holding in reserve, so Juab couldn't make any adjustments. They thought they were right where they needed to be, and then the lightning hit. They come back on the field 3 times. And the rule is if there's a lightning flash, you must go back in for at least 30 minutes. So every time the lightning flashed, they started the clock over with, and I think it was 9:30 when they called that ball game when we started home. So never got the second half in.
Well, we're going to talk more after the break about some of the key players to watch for here tonight from both sides, the Eagles and the Rabbits. Again, as we have our simulcast going here tonight, as you're watching live on local Channel 10 through Centricom, cable TV, and also you can hear us, I'm sure, some of you out there on KMGR. So let's send it back to the studios. We'll come back after this 2-minute break.
Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers and central areas, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
Every day is a good day to shop Drew Bay for a new truck. Check out the all-new, from the hubcaps to the headliner, 2014 Chevy Silverado. The all-new Silverado has 4-wheel disc brakes for superb stopping ability. This beast boasts 355 horsepower with 383 foot-pounds of torque, up to 420 horses and 450 pounds of torque. You choose. Be sure to ask about active fuel management and optional bed lengths and other available options. The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado makes every day a good day to shop Drew Bay. Drew Bay Chevrolet, Delta.
Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco are happy to support Millard High School. Not only can you stop in for top-quality gasoline and oil products, but you can fill up on snacks, goodies, and drinks. You'll also find their irresistible, world-famous fried chicken and potato logs. Miller's can also service your vehicle with mechanical service or a new set of tires. And dine in on delicious and healthy meal selections at Subway. That's Millard, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco on the North I-15 interchange in Fillmore, proud to sponsor the player of the game.
Hey, Hold up there. Don't blow your hard-earned money on ag supplies and such until you visit Oasis Seed Cooperative in Delta. There's Montana Silversmith and that special lady. Well, hey, Oasis Seed has your planting supplies too, but Oasis Seed is more than a seed company. Animal health products, livestock panels, gates, poles, fencing supplies, for sure, but so much more. Wrangler, tack, saddles, and much more. Work hard, but spend wisely at Oasis Seed Cooperative, 290 North, 1000 West, Delta.
And once again, welcome back inside of the Snow College pregame show. The Homeschooled Music is proud to offer the first four-year degree in the history of Snow College. A Bachelor of Music degree in commercial music. Call 283-7472 to find out more or go to snow.edu. Again, a beautiful evening here, Friday evening in Delta, Utah, as the sun continues to set behind us here. As we mentioned, the grass in beautiful condition here. Thank goodness maybe we didn't play that game last week, because I think it would have tore this field all to pieces, but did not even get that one started. So we mentioned we were going to talk a little bit about some of the key players to watch here tonight, and as I was looking, Coach, both teams here have returning starters calling the signals. They've both got their quarterbacks back, and so there's some stability there. I know Millard, if I remember right, had somewhere around 7 offensive starters back and 7 on the defense. So they've got some experience back there. But calling the signals is Skylar Cranny, and I know he's got some skill, and he's going to run the show. And I think a lot of people watching live here on television are going to go, these two teams look very similar. My gosh, they're both lined up backwards in the backfield.
Yeah, it's like playing your cousins. It really is, which makes it, oftentimes the defenses know exactly what they're going to do and those kinds of things. But both coaches try to throw in little twists that the other coach isn't expecting, and so it makes it for some interesting contrast there. But generally you like to play a team who doesn't know anything about your offense, hasn't prepared for it through the year. But in this case, both have prepared every day in practice, so they can't get away from that. But generally speaking, they are pretty similar in what they do.
Both of them line up in what's called an inverted wishbone. And honestly, I'm a little surprised that maybe a few other teams throughout the state haven't picked up on it, because the success that both of these teams have had in that offense, because it's been so successful, you can do so many different things out of the inverted bone.
Well, yeah, but everybody now wants to go to the flashy. They want to go to the passing game, and which is a drawback of this offense is the passing game itself. And you got to work, because it's such a run-oriented offense. Sometimes the passing game is forgotten or is not brought to fore in the offense. Other teams want to go with the West Coast offense, the whatever it might be, the fly, the trap, the wing tee, the flashier type things, the more wide open things. But in areas where you may not have that kind of athlete year in and year out, this is the kind of offense, this and the wishbone that we used to run are the kind of things that you run when you don't have a plethora of tremendously, I'm not saying they're not athletic,
right,
but the other schools, the bigger schools have more of those kinds of kids.
These two head coaches know each other very well. They're both graduates of Delta High School. Yeah. Marshall Sheriff in his 15th season this year. He's 115-44 and has a state title to his credit. He won it in 2001. Russ Fowles is the head coach here at Delta in his second season. And both of these programs last year, Coach, they struggled a little bit, didn't finish quite where they wanted to, and I think they're both using that as motivation for this year.
Yeah, and that was a strange year. I mean, when has it been that you see both Millard and Delta struggle like that? And that's an anomaly. And I think both of them are looking to rebound, like you said, and I think both of them will do much better this year.
In fact, as you look at this head-to-head here with Delta and Millard, this is actually the 7th most rivalry that's been played in the state of Utah. This is going to be the 91st meeting between these two teams, and the Eagles lead the series 48-38-4, and this goes all the way back to 1926. And I know not only have you been involved in it as an administrator, but you were roaming the sidelines there for a few years, so you know all about this rivalry.
Yeah, back in the day, we were in the same league at Dixie High School. We were with Delta and Millard, and back then we played everybody twice, every home and home every year. So that made for some even more exciting things. And yeah, I remember this field. It looks a lot better than it used to, but yeah. I remember this field.
Yeah, absolutely. And football's come a long way since you were down there.
Now they have grass. Back then they just cut mowed the alfalfa off of it.
Yeah.
And we played.
Well, they told me that I think you were here watching that first game, 1926. Were you not?
No, that was Phil Robinson. I'm a little younger than that, old boy.
Absolutely. Some of the other players to watch for, certainly in the backfield for Millard tonight. It'll be Heda Rubalcaba. He certainly will see the ball an awful lot, along with Derek Brunson and Alcala out
Paco.
catching the ball. Yep.
We'll call him Paco, not Paco.
Absolutely. So look for him to see the ball a little bit his way. And, of course, Austin Wardle, who is just a great all-around athlete. I think he's going to be involved a lot. And then for Delta, as I mentioned, Bracken Lovell, he returns as quarterback this year. And believe it or not, last year he had 880 yards passing, which is a little strange for Delta. But I think part of that reason is because we were behind in some games and we were trying to catch up, and we were throwing it maybe a little bit more. And then, of course, Victor Almanza, he returns as an all-state defensive back. But you will see Almanza at the two-back position tonight. He's going to go both ways, and I know Coach Fowles was telling me, he says, I'm going to try and give him a little bit of rest on a few series on offense, because he says we've got to have him on the defensive side as well. And I think that goes both ways for both teams. There's a lot of kids going both ways.
Well, the passing for your quarterback, that's essential too. This, again, because it's so run-oriented, but you've got to complete a half a dozen to a dozen passes every game to keep that defense off, because what Millard has seen from time to time through the years is if they didn't believe that Millard could throw the ball, they'd pack the box. And you're trying to run the ball against 9 and even 10 guys in some cases. And that's kind of what Juab did the other night. I mean, when Millard went to motion, the whole team slid to motion. They had 3 guys on the backside. They lined up in a defense where they took the corners face-to-face, man-to-man, and dared us to throw over the top.
Yep.
And until a team like this does that, and they don't have to respect the pass, they'll shut this run down. Even no matter how good you are, they'll find a way to stop you. So the pass is tremendously important in a situation like this.
Well, again, our thanks to the many sponsors that allow us to bring you Delta High and Millard High football. And before we go to break, we want to run through a few of them. McDonald's of Delta, Intermountain Power, along with Jorgensen's Honda, Central Valley Medical Center, Service Drug, Stevens Feed with us tonight, along with Miller's Subway, Kern River Gas, Flowell Electric, and Carl's Jr. So again, we're going to break away for just a couple of minutes. Again, we appreciate those sponsors. You'll see them run through our commercial breaks here, after which we're going to come back with more of our Snow College pregame right after this.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
At Lovell Pharmacy in Delta, we put the love in customer service. We do it by offering so much more than just pharmaceutical care. Try our Jackson Hole Soda, BYU Ice Cream, and our cheese curds from Beaver Cheese Plant. For all of your gift-giving needs, from baby showers to birthday presents, shop Lovell Pharmacy. And don't forget our nice, informative, caring staff. Remember, we put the love in customer service at Lovell Pharmacy. Find us at 111 East Main Street in Delta.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
And once again, welcome back inside of the Snow College pregame show as we're getting set for Delta and Millard in the cross-county rivalry game. Again, we want to thank Snow College. They have assembled some of the best quality, most affordable, and flexible offerings in the online education. Visit Snow online at snow.edu/online. Well, again, the crowd's still making their way into this one. We expect to have a decent crowd on hand, as the two teams only separated by about 37 miles, and so this should be a good one. Of course, Delta playing in the 3A South Division and Millard coming in the 2A. As I was looking through some of the predictions that have been made by the coaches in their respective regions, Delta is picked to finish third in the 3A South, and I believe Millard is predicted to finish third in the 2A. And, of course, that means absolutely nothing as they get on into region a little bit further down the road. I think both these teams that we talked earlier, they're both looking to have a better showing than what they had last year. So we'll see how things go along. As we mentioned, it doesn't matter what the records are, where we're at. This is really the first game for Delta because they didn't play last week because of the weather, and Millard got a half in. So you really can't say a whole lot as far as what you saw there. The weather was terrible. Tonight, perfect weather, perfect playing conditions. So this should be a lot of fun.
It will be. It will be. I think both teams will come ready to play, and they'll get right after it. I think this will be a tremendous football game.
And again, we want to thank all of our sponsors that are with us here this evening. We mentioned Service Drug out of Delta, Delta Medical Center, along with Drew Bay Chevrolet, RC Staples, Delta City with us as well tonight, and Lovell Pharmacy. And again, out of the Fillmore area, Roper Lumber, always a great supporter of Millard High School, along with Fillmore City, Dwayne's Food Town, Service Drug in Fillmore, and Sunrise Engineering. And it looks like they are just about set for the presentation of the colors, and they always do such a really good job here. As we have American Legion Post 135, a lot of wonderful young men down there that will carry the colors. These are veterans of foreign wars, and they've done such a good job. It's so fun to have them here with us, and they'll also be accompanied by the Tridels, the pep band, and so we're going to pause and obviously pay our respects as well as we have our national anthem. And while that's taking place, we're going to send it back to the studios again and let them entertain you. Again, you're watching this football game on Centricom Cable TV and listening on KMGR. We'll be back right after this.
RC Staples has been your family shoe and clothing outlet in Delta since 1995. If you need to outfit an individual, a family, or a missionary, RC Staples is the place. There's luggage, tuxedo rentals, and much more. RC Staples is very conscious of changing styles and fashion trends as they cater to the lifestyle, budget, and tastes of Millard County residents. Hey, RC Staples is both trendy and price conscious. So shop with confidence. That's RC Staples, 261 West Main, Delta.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab high schools. Come visit Delta City, the largest community in Millard County and the surrounding area. Recreational opportunities abound, including camping, hiking, fishing, water skiing on the Gunnison Bend Reservoir, motocross racing, four-wheeling at the dunes, or playing 18 holes of golf on our Jewel of the Desert. Then spend a day experiencing the thrill of finding your own fossils in one of the world's richest deposits of trilobites. Delta is also Utah's gateway into the Great Basin National Park. West Millard County can satisfy all your recreational needs. Delta City.
Tasting notes for the Carl's Jr. Texas Barbecue Thick Burger by Texas race car legend Terry Labonte.
Boy, there's nothing better than a juicy char-broiled burger. But when you pile on fried jalapenos and mouth-watering barbecue brisket, smoked for hours and hours and slathered in mesquite barbecue sauce, you got a Texas winner.
The Texas Barbecue Thick Burger with smoked brisket, mesquite barbecue sauce, and jalapeno straws. New at Carl's Jr.
When I was thinking about going back to school, I got pretty nervous, just knowing I had a young family and money was tight for us. As a mother, online courses were perfect for my busy schedule. One of the things that was huge for me was how affordable this program was. Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles!
Every morning, millions of people skip breakfast. But thanks to McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast, they'll have to find something else to skip, like waiting for the shower to warm up, putting in their contacts. Ow. Or they could just wear that wet towel to work.
Good morning, everyone.
There are options, people, but skipping McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast isn't one of them. So grab a sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin sandwich, premium roast coffee, and more for just $1 each. That's the simple joy of breakfast at McDonald's.
Your Delta McDonald's, a proud supporter of Delta High School sports.
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Food Town in Fillmore. Dwayne's Food Town prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Food Town, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
Choosing a college is tough, but there's a big difference between 25 and 500 students in a class. SUU has small classes. It's a big difference if your professor is teaching class or doing research. SUU professors are in the classroom teaching and calling on you by name. At SUU, distinguished faculty are in small classes teaching rigorous nationally accredited programs on a safe campus in an unrivaled natural setting. Southern Utah University. There is a difference.
Stop in today and experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore. Service Drug is not only your full-service pharmacy, but offers a wide range of books, home decor items, greeting cards, KitchenAid appliances, and so much more. Service Drug is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and also on Saturdays for your convenience. Come see the courteous staff at Service Drug, 215 West Main in Delta and 40 North Main in Fillmore. Experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
So we get set for the 91st meeting between the Millard Eagles and the Delta Rabbits here on a beautiful Friday night. Welcome back to the Snow College pregame show. Snow College is ranked 6th in the nation in graduation rates according to CNN Money Magazine. Start your education at Snow College. Visit snow.edu. So again, American Legion Post 135 does a nice job presenting the colors, and the captains now will visit out at center field as they'll flip the coin and see who's going to be kicking off, who's going to be receiving. But again, getting back to this one here tonight, as we mentioned, two teams with great tradition, great history. Dennis, between these two schools, 22 state championships, Millard with 13 and Delta with 9. I'm not sure if there's two programs that are within a vicinity like they are here, within a county, that have had such great success and has such great history as these two right here.
That's true, and again, it comes back to a lot of hard work by a lot of farm kids over the years. You know, the tradition of Millard County. Again, maybe they're not the greatest athletes in the world, but by golly, they know how to fight, they know how to battle, they know how to win. And they have that hard-nosed attitude in all their sports. And that's why I think football and wrestling in Millard County have been so dominant, because they know that they can equalize it by being tough and being hard. And it's come to fore, and the coaches have capitalized on that and helped them out in that, and it's just a tremendous tradition here in the Millard County area.
Absolutely. Well, we're just about set for this one here tonight. Again, as the captains meeting, you're going to see Delta tonight in a little different look from what you've seen in years past. They've gone with the white helmets this year, with the block D on the side. And of course, being the home team, they'll wear the red jerseys and the white pants, and Millard comes in with the dark blue helmets. the blue pants and the white jerseys. For a while, Delta was in the silver helmet. They've been in the black helmet. This year, going to go with the white. So,
and Millard likewise has been all over the place. Now they've gone more of that gray look.
Now that you say that, as I look across,
college,
you're right.
A lot of the colleges have gone to kind of the grayish look. Not the same gray that they've worn in other years, but it's a whole new helmet. So.
As we mentioned, Coach Marshall Sheriff in charge across the way of that sideline. He is in his 15th season. As we mentioned, 115 and 44 in his career. He has really done a nice job over for the Millard Eagles. And we
mentioned that already in the unofficial game on the sidelines, one touchdown has been scored and a ball has been spiked on the unofficial football field over there.
Yeah, I can see that across the way. Absolutely.
Somebody's already scored over there.
Not sure who got the score.
I think it was Millard. Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Delta hasn't shown up yet, so they scored already. So.
Certainly my pleasure to be working alongside Dennis Aldrich as we do this simulcast. KMGR Radio tonight, our home for Delta High and Millard High athletics throughout the season. And, of course, if you're watching live, you can watch us in a couple of different places on local Channel 10 TV with Centricom, or we are streaming live as well. You can go to centricom.com and pick us up there. So it's amazing. Years ago when we played, you were hoping Mom and Dad were in the stands to see you. Nowadays, everybody can watch you. You're on so many different, whether you're on the radio, whether you're live streaming, or even on TV now. These high school kids get a lot of exposure.
Yeah, or Facebook, yeah. YouTube, Facebook, all sorts of things, which I don't know much about and don't like. So.
And the Eagles have won the opening coin toss. They have deferred till the second half, so they will be kicking this one away. And back deep for the Rabbits. This is the first time we've even called Delta, so we'll have to get used to a few numbers down there. They're not the easiest to see, but this kick's not going to be returnable as it goes over the head of the intended returner, and it'll go through the end zone and be a touchback. So the Rabbits will have it first out at their own 20-yard line. And as we mentioned, if you're watching us live on local cable Channel 10, or whether you're watching this stream, you're going to see two teams that almost mirror each other when it comes to offense.
Well, they all learned it from Dean Fowles, so that's where a lot of this legacy comes from. As Dean was so successful here at Delta High School for so many years, and these are both graduates of his program. So, that's a lot of his influence still being played out.
And Delta, here they come with the inverted wishbone. They'll come with a double tight formation. Bracken Lovell will line up behind the center there. And they'll go motion left side. Here's the give off that motion, and it's going to be a gain of a couple as all. It'll take it out to about the 22, brings up second down.
And
8.
Miller doing a lot of the same that teams do to them. And the minute the motion went for Delta, they slid the strong side, because motion creates a strong side in this offense immediately. And they slid the strong side in. On the tackle there was the quarterback, Skylar Cranny, on that tackle.
In the backfield for the Rabbits, Daxton Johnson lines up left. On the right side, Johnny Hesh, and the two-back Victor Almanza. And here is Almanza bouncing it out around that left side, and he'll have a first down out close to the 34-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 10 on the play. And it gives Delta, whoops, and I didn't see the flag there, Dennis, but there is a flag in the backfield. Back at the 15-yard line, we'll see what the call's going to be.
Back there, you would assume probably
dead ball.
No. Roughing the passer, roughing the quarterback.
Apparently, I was going to say there was no pass, so yeah, that's usually a roughing
the quarterback.
So.
Did they know he didn't pass there? So does that still count as anyway?
Apparently so. 10 on the pickup, and then another 15 will be tacked on for the personal foul. So this is going to take the ball all the way to the 49-yard line on Delta's side of the field. That's a big penalty.
It's a huge penalty in this situation. You would have thought that'd be holding back in that area where the flag was thrown.
So they'll wind the clock here early in the first quarter from Delta High School. As, again, the Rabbits come up in a double tight formation. As the give once again to Almanza. He gets stacked up after a gain of maybe a yard. And I believe, Dennis, you'll see that 59 for Millard making the stop.
That young man is a Delta High product also. He's Watcott. His dad grew up here and graduated from Delta High School, married a Millard girl. And she's moved back to Fillmore now. And Tremendous talent. He's just a junior, but he's got good size, and he really gets to the ball well.
So it brings up a 2nd down and 9. The ball at the midfield stripe, and again, Delta stays in that double tight formation. And the inverted wishbone behind Bracken Lovell, the left-handed senior, second-year starter as a quarterback. Almanza in motion. Boy, a little bit shaky on the snap, and that'll be a motion penalty. That'll move him back 5.
Yeah, that was completely out of sync. The quarterback wasn't even expecting that snap.
Yeah. So I guess if you're Coach Russ Fowles, the bad thing is you get the motion penalty. The good thing is you didn't turn it over. You'd rather have the penalty than dropping the ball and losing it on a fumble. So now 2nd down and 14 as they move it back to the 45-yard line. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter from Delta High School. Alongside Dennis Aldridge, I'm Ken Nielsen. And it's a pleasure to work with you, Coach. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's the give, first back through, and stood up as he gets to the line of scrimmage. And not much on the gain, if anything.
Again on the tackle, Watt caught it, and also Pierce Whitaker on that tackle. The inside linebacker, outside linebacker got to that play quickly on that option, first man option, fullback read.
Daxton Johnson, where's number 19? He's the junior. He got the carry, and we'll give him a yard up to the 46-yard line. Brings up 3rd down, and we'll call it a big 13 to go. They've got to take it to about the 41 of Millard. And again, 2 wideouts this time. Let's see if Delta puts it in the air. Bracken back to pass, going down the middle, and this ball's, I was going to say, could be picked, and it falls incomplete. Delta was looking for the receiver right down the seam, Johnny Hatch, but it falls incomplete.
Quarterback under a great deal of pressure. You had Walker Swallow, 6'8", bearing down on him. He tried to throw, he just threw it up over him, really is what he did. You might be better off to eat that thing and punt the ball away than to throw that up there. A bad misstep by the 3 safety, Wardle, or that ball's a pick. So, maybe you better eat that one, punt it away.
So Delta in a punting situation here on a 4th down and 13. They will kick it away from about their own 35-yard line. Here's the kick, and going to be fielded at about the 24-yard line. The 2 receivers run into each other, and then breaking a tackle, working his way is Austin Wardle up across the 35 to about the 37, and that's where Millard will take over, 1st down and 10.
He might have got a lot more, but he kept bumping into his own people. Had to bounce off of them a few times, but you'll see Wardle sitting out at that wide receiver spot most of the time. He will play some running back occasionally, and especially if there's an injury in the backfield. Don't be surprised to see him move into the backfield, as he played quite a bit last year. But they try to get him out of that corner and isolate on that corner because of his athletic ability out there. Catching the ball and going.
So here come the Eagles on their first possession of the ball game, and they're going to send 2 receivers far side, and now a flag gets thrown before anybody even gets set. And let's see what the call is going to be down on the field. Motion penalty, and I didn't even see what happened because they hadn't even really got to the line really to get set. So
did the center
move the ball?
The ball incorrectly? That's all I could see. He was looking right at the young man, but they do have the right to move the ball a little bit.
Referees move it. They'll take it back to the 32-yard line. Now it's 1st down and 15. Ball here on the near side, near hash mark. And Millard goes to the shotgun. Here's Cranny. And he'll give it to his fullback, who will take it ahead to about the 35, where he is swarmed under. So a gain of about 3 yards there. The ball carrier that time, I believe, was Alcala.
Paco Alcala, 41. They kind of go to that spread look. The 2 that remain are still in the alignment of the inverted bone, but they take one of the fullbacks and they split him out there in a twin formation to the outside, and they run a series of plays off of that. And like I said, each coach has a little bit of a wrinkle that they put into this offense over the years, and that's one that Coach Sheriff likes to put in there.
Double wide this time, and they'll send Paco in motion to the right side. Cranny back to pass. Over the middle, complete. And it'll be out across the 45 to about the 48. That's a 1st down with a gain of about 12 yards.
And again, what we talked about, you don't have to complete the long gainers in this offense. That pass right there pays huge dividends because it's in the middle where your middle linebackers normally line up. So now in the back of their minds, they've got to think pass, and they've got to hang back just a little bit in case of a play-action pass. So it loosens the front up and allows the people to get a little bit better lane to run into. So little passes like that from both of these teams pay huge dividends in the long run.
So Paco Alcala with a 12-yard pass reception sets up a first down and 10 from the 48-yard line of Millard. Here's the give, first back through across midfield, a gain of about 3. And it brings up second down and 7. I believe that
would have been
Rubalcaba. Yep.
But back in the day, we used to run the wishbone. You figure you get 3 yards on a down, you keep with that, and that's kind of what they're doing with that first give on the read on the outside. If they can get 3 yards on that, 3 yards every time, that's a good play to keep running. Delta has to come down a little bit quicker and stop that play.
So both teams now have made it to the midfield stripe. Here's a second down and 7 for the Eagles. 3 wide receivers. They'll keep it on the ground. Tranning will keep it himself as he dives ahead for a gain of a couple. Sets up a third down at about 5.
Tried to follow his fullback up in the middle there. Gets a couple.
So Dennis, both teams inverted wishbone, which I don't know if you'd ever see that in another high school game where they're both flipping it and playing it consistently, and both quarterbacks southpaws.
Well, I saw BYU line up in the inverted bone, but I don't think they have the same mentality towards what they're trying to do out of that. It's just a formation that they use. But yeah, you're right. This is the only place I've seen that particular offense run.
But Millard now has been in the shotgun a couple of different times here in the first half, and this is going to work effectively as it's going to be close to a first down as Derek Brunson bounces off that right tackle, and he picks up 4, almost 5. I think it's going to be just a little bit short.
4 down territory.
So it's 4th and a yard. Just outside of the 43-yard line of Delta, ball on the far hash mark. Here comes Austin Wardle. He'll be split wide to the left. They'll stay tight on the right. Tranny up under center. And, I don't know if they're going to get it.
Nope. No. Great stand by Delta on that one. Number 10, 44. Those young men, I don't have the roster here, but number 10, that would be Victor Almanza, and 44 in there, Johnny Hatch. Tremendous play on that right-hand side for them.
Boy, it's going to be close. Nope, not going to get it. I believe that was Bartholomew on the carry.
Number 8, Bartholomew.
And just didn't quite get it. And Almanza, we talked about him in the pregame show. He was an all-state defensive back last year. This year they're relying on him to carry a lot of the offense as well. But he might be Delta's best football player all around. Yeah. And right there, as you mentioned, he made the saving tackle right there. So Delta has to punt their first possession away, and Millard goes out on downs. Rabbits take over on their own 43-yard line. And again, a double-type formation for Bracken Lovell as he'll take the snap. It's just a quick hitter off the right tackle. Not much, maybe a couple of yards. I believe that was Johnny Hatch. Nope, excuse me. We'll wait and see who the ball carrier was.
Dane Myers and Darren Carter not Darren Carter, that's his dad.
Wait, that was Austin Chappell, I think, on the carry.
They're in on the tackle. Caden Carter. Darren's his dad. Okay, we'll try and get that straight. Not talk genealogy.
I am counting on you to keep everybody happy on the east side of the county, and I'll do my best on the west side here.
I can go over and tell them it was all your fault.
Absolutely. I'll shoulder the brunt of that. Double wide formation this time on a second down and 7. Bracken Lovell keeps it himself, steps up through a hole and gets close to a first down. I think he's going to be just a yard short, but he picks up about 6 on the carry.
Great read by Lovell on that one. You fake that first reverse and go back to the other side and read the gap and got into it, and that was a tremendous play by little quarterback. Good read.
We're scoreless here in the first quarter with just under 5 minutes to go. Second possession of the game for the Rabbits. Third down and less than a yard. Looks like about the length of the football. They'll send a wide receiver to the far side, one to the near side. Again, they'll stay with that inverted wishbone. They'll bring back in motion. Back to pass. Whoa, as Lovell, and that ball is knocked down. It was almost picked off right there. by, I believe that's Pierce Whitaker. It's a great read by Whitaker.
Yeah, he stepped into that zone. Stepped into that zone from his outside linebacker spot, read the play action and stepped into the zone. The quarterback didn't see him. It's supposed to be a real quick hitch pass, for the first down, and he had a hand on it.
Yeah, he was just trying to float it out here in the flat here on the near side, and Whitaker was right there. I think if he had to do it over again, he might go up and try and just catch it with two hands.
Well, yeah, but I think it all happens so quickly,
Yeah. So Delta will go for it again on 4th down and short. Here's the pitch to the back, and he's not going to get it. He's going to get knocked down and loses a couple of yards as Victor Almanza took the pitch around the right side, and he is thrown for a loss of 2, and Delta will go out on downs.
And again, great penetration on that play by the defensive line of Millard, just like for Delta, enabled that play to be wiped out. And Dane Myers got in the quarterback's face so fast that he had to kick it out of there in a hurry, and which left your running back deep in the backfield trying to get to the outside, and everybody coming at him. Yeah, that's pretty tough to run against.
Great field position now for the Eagles as they start with their second possession. They'll send 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Cranny will stand in the shotgun. He's got 2 backs behind him. And here's Cranny going to throw it out in the flat right side. And complete. They get a nice block, and I believe, if I'm correct on that one, that is Austin Wardle with a nice block in front to get him upfield for about 9.
Had a Rubalcava with the block out there. And you could hear in the box people screaming because Millard was lined up in that twins formation to the right side. Delta had 1 corner out there. And it was like the outside linebacker, whoever your second cover guy is, never saw that. And they're lucky that's all it was. And the defensive end about knocked that one down.
3:52 and counting here in the first quarter. No score. Millard with a 2nd down and 1 at the 42-yard line of Delta. They'll send 1 back in motion left side, and then they'll come back the other way. Little counter, and not going to go anywhere. I believe that was Paco Alcala. It was read pretty well by Delta.
Well, the little counter is, again, what Coach Sheriff tries to use to balance the defense and keep it honest. You run that counter back away from motion, but I haven't seen it do much the last couple of years. It's just not quite getting there. Need to block it differently. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to be able. It's not paying off like it used to pay off. Yeah, but that's got to be there to keep the defense honest.
So a 3rd down and 1 once again. Wardle split far side. They'll bring a receiver near side as well. Back to the traditional inverted wishbone set. And here's the give, first back through. And they go back to their old bread and butter. And it pays off. Paco Alcala gets the first down with a gain of, nearly 5 yards.
It's a good crease that they got open for him to get him into that.
Millard with 17 yards rushing now in the ball game. They've got 21 yards through the air.
There you go.
How about that?
That's
pretty good balance.
That's a good stat. That's right.
New set of downs for the Eagles as they'll have the ball on the Delta 37-yard line. And again, in the shotgun is Cranny. 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. He'll throw it, swing it out here in the flat. That's, I believe, Brunson with the catch, and he's got some room as he takes it around the left side. Gets inside of the the 30, and knocked out of bounds at about the 26. That'll be a gain of about 11. Pretty nice little play right there.
Good play. There was a corner out there for Delta. I didn't get his number, but it looked like he stepped in a gopher hole or something. He took a misstep, seemed to have an angle on the ball carrier, but all of a sudden it seemed like he tripped a little bit and allowed Brunson to get to the outside. But you'll notice that the passing game for Millard is nothing daring or dramatic. They're chipping at it. But again, that's important. That's important to chip at it and get that yardage and keep the defense spread.
And again, they spread them wide. One receiver far side, 1 to the near side. Here's Cranny as he will hand it off. Derek Brunson, and he'll dive ahead for a couple.
Double dive, reverse pivot, double dive off that tackle in the C gap. And that time Delta had they had it snuffed out the outside, but the defensive end came down and knocked it down.
2nd down, we'll call it a long 8 for Millard, just inside of the 25, near the 24. And again, here to the near side, Andrew Richardson, and to the far side, Austin Wardle. They got 1 lone setback behind Cranny, and he'll float it out to the back. He gets around the right side, dives close to the 20.
That's a new wrinkle. That time they had a wide receiver. They had a tight twin and a near slot. They had one running back in the backfield. That was Brunson with the quarterback. Now, they don't show that. They haven't shown that. That's one of the new wrinkles that coaches put in. But that looks like a passing team. But they still went to the flare.
How about this? Skylar Cranny is 4 for 4 for 35 yards in the ball game.
You are trying to jinx him, aren't you? Well, every time you say somebody's 4 for 4, the next time is a pick 6.
Kind of like a no-hitter. You just don't talk about it.
You don't talk about that stuff. That and free throws. You don't do that.
So again, Millard has really come with a different look for the Rabbits here, and I think it's confused him just a little bit. Cranny keeps it himself, tries to step in that inside this defensive end, dives ahead to about the 16. That'll be a first down.
Makes the right read, but he's got to step just one step sooner. He got a little bit too close to the defensive end, and it cost him.
Needed 7, and that's what he got. And 26 yards now rushing for Millard, 35 passing. So
that's a stat that'll shock a lot of people.
Yes, that will. And
I think the other key too is to throw when you want to throw, not be forced into that 3rd and long when everybody knows you're going to throw.
Yep. New set of downs for the Eagles, 1st and 10. 15-yard line, we'll call it, of Delta. And here's the give, first back through, and not much there. As the people up front for Delta did a pretty good job up front defensively for the Rabbits.
Number 62, Brent
That's
Walker.
Brent Walker, he's the nose guard, and on either side of him, Bodie Draper, the junior on the right side, David Skeena, the senior on the left side, and then the defensive ends, Rich Peterson and Derek Burton. But yeah, Brett Walker, just a sophomore.
Wow.
But pretty good ball player. He's really, really got a nose for the ball. His dad was a great football player here, Jim Walker, several years ago. So, in his genes.
Yeah.
We expect a lot of big things out of Brett Walker over the next couple of years.
You'd like to see a lot of that, you know.
Cranny back to pass, rolls to his right, going to go to the end zone, and
it's complete.
It's complete, but they say out of bounds. What a catch there.
You might say it's out of bounds. He's out on the track.
But my goodness, that was a great effort, and I believe that was Wardle, was it not?
Yeah, it was Wardle.
Went up, made the catch, but he was just out of bounds.
That's tough, though. You know, you got a left-handed quarterback rolling right, has to throw back against his body, you know, and try and get those shoulders squared. That's tough to make that throw, and the throw floats a little bit on you to the outside. But, you know, it's a completion, but it won't count because of it being out of bounds.
So that breaks the string of completed passes.
I told you you were in.
Well, it was caught, just out of bounds. Yeah. So it's 3rd down and 9 now. Cranny in the shotgun, tries to draw Delta off on a hard count. Delta disciplined enough to stay back. Here's the pitch, right side, and taken down after a gain of close to 5 yards, maybe 4 yards. I thought for a minute that might go for the first down, maybe even a little bit more.
Bounced it back inside. He had a blocker to the outside if he could have got to him, but I'm not sure he could have got out there. Delta defended that pretty well.
Picks up 4, and it brings up a 4th down and 5. So Millard will attempt the field goal here.
Not this quarter.
But not before the whistle sounds, and the first quarter comes to an end. We are scoreless. But when we come back after the break, Millard will be trying to kick one through for the 3-point lead. Again, you're listening to Delta High and Millard High football here on KMGR and watching it live here from Centricom. We'll be back after this.
What's inside your kid? A teacher, an engineer, a musician, an accountant, a doctor, or maybe a scientist? Your kid has what it takes to excel and succeed, but they may not know it. You can help them unlock their potential and find out what's inside. Partner up with their teachers and coaches. Find out what you can do. Just something to think about. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
You can't stay true.
And welcome back inside of the booth here as Pakawalkala on for a 28-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. And again, this second quarter brought to you by Oasis Seed Co-op, along with Sunrise Engineering and SUU. We appreciate all of our sponsors, Fillmore Medical Center, Millard County Credit Union, and the Fillmore Shell, along with IFA. So here we go. Here's the snap. It's a good one. The kick is up, and I think it's going to be good. And it is. Nice effort there by Alcala. He gets Millard on the board first here. And it's 3-0.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
The Millard County Credit Union offices in Fillmore and Delta want to thank you for your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but banking is easier with their e-teller home banking service. Just log on to www.millardccu.com, sign up for their e-teller services, and conveniently manage all your credit union accounts from home. That's the Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore.
So 3-0. This score update brought to you by Centricom Channel 10, along with Jorgensen Honda, Central Valley Medical Center, and again Sunrise Engineering. Here's a squib kick right down the middle of the field to see if somebody wants to pick it up, and Delta finally does at about the 19, and going to be returned out close to the 30, and that's where the Rabbits will take over, first down and 10, trailing 3-0 here early as we start this second quarter.
Carrying on the play is Gordon Suey, sophomore running back for Delta High School.
I just saying, during the break, that was a pretty nice effort by Alcala as he split the uprights. That would have been good from maybe 38.
We've gotten some real nice kicking through the soccer program. A lot of Hispanic kids that have moved in, and they're playing that soccer, and they're great kickers, and we've been able to convert them into football kickers and have done a tremendous job the last 10 years or so for Millard High School.
So here's Bracken Lovell, keeps it himself, thought about pitching to the back coming around the left side, and then decided better, kept it, and he's going to get 10 out across the 40.
Good read. I like the way Lovell is reading that option. Again, they reverse pivot. They fake the handoff to the far side running back and then come around, and I like the way he's reading that in and getting inside. He's making some nice yardage there. And what that'll do is eventually the outside people for Millard will step down. Then you pitch the ball, then they're off to the races down the sideline.
Delta with 33 yards rushing so far here tonight. Here's the give, first back through off that right tackle. Maybe 3 yards on the carry once again. I believe that was Daxton Johnson carrying the ball for the Rabbits.
And they're not showing any panic. They're going to stick with what they do. And like you said, this is their first game, so they've got to work the bugs out of this thing and keep working on it.
Just underway, second quarter action here from Delta High School. 3-0, Eagles lead it on a 28-yard field goal. Timeout's going to be taken by Coach Sheriff. He wants to talk with the Eagles. We'll take the timeout as well and be back right after this 1-minute break.
Okay, it's time to pop the top on another canning season, and Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply in Fillmore has you covered. Bottles, lids, pectin, and, well, hey, Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply also has juicers, dehydrators, apple peelers, and more. Okay, let's take the stress and frustration out of your canning season with the proper equipment and supplies from Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply, your local IFA dealer in Fillmore.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
So as we come back live, Delta with a second down and about 7. Here's a little misdirection. And not going to go anywhere as, Miller did a nice job staying home right there.
Pierce Whitaker stayed home on that, you're right. Stayed outside on that outside linebacker position. And all the faking going on inside, he stayed out there, stayed home, and played his position well.
No gain on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 7 for the Rabbits. Offensively for Delta up front, David Skina wears number 52. He's the senior, and he's the center. Out at the guards, Mark Denbo on one side, Jordan Payne on the other. Your tackles, Russ Styler on the right side, Bodie Draper on the left. Delta stays double tight in the formation. And they'll bring back in motion. And again, Victor Almanza with nowhere to go, maybe a yard. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 6.
The interior line must be doing, they're doing a great job in stopping everything up. The last 2 plays, the running back, it's almost like the play is designed to go a little bit farther inside, but they're having to slide to the outside because there's nothing in there. They may have to be a little bit more patient with their blockers up in there instead of sliding out into the teeth of that defense.
Wardle back deep for Millard, and he will take this at about his own 23-yard line. Avoids one tackle and then goes down at about the 25-yard line. But Millard takes over 1st down and 10, and they have the lead as well, 3-0 with 9:42 to go here in this first quarter.
Nice open field tackle on the punt return, the punt team there by Skina.
So Delta on their first 3 possessions of the game, they've gone punt, out on downs, and punt. They have been to the midfield stripe 1 time. But they just haven't gotten on track as of yet. And maybe, as you mentioned, maybe it's first game jitters still. They've just got to kind of work some things out.
Well, I think the difference between the two right now is the stat that you keep reading off, and that is passing yardage. Delta has thrown it, 1 time? And nearly got it picked off. They're not utilizing the pass yet to loosen up the defense of Millard.
Just outside of the 26-yard line, that's where Millard will start. They're going to go wide, that far side, and this is going to get them some nice yardage. 1st down and then some. This is going to be a gain of almost 15 yards, and I believe that was Derek Brunson on the carry.
Brunson, the speed to the outside and some nice blocking, and that was just a pitch sweep that time. And the blocking got out in front of him, knocked some people down, and he was able to turn the corner a little bit, a couple of steps away from going all the way.
80 yards of total offense so far for Millard, 45 now on the ground. They've got the 35 through the air. Delta right now with 37. So advantage Eagles. And again, Cranny in the shotgun. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. As he gets everybody set. Here's the give to his fullback, standing to the left of him. It'll pick up a yard.
Again, you keep testing the underbelly there, but if you look at the Delta defense that time, with the twin situation to the right by Millard, that time now they're sliding that extra defensive back or linebacker out into that gap, so Millard can't keep completing those little chip passes and swing passes that they've been throwing. So Delta are trying to adjust to that, but what that will do inside, that should now give them a running lane inside because they've moved somebody out into that gap. Again, a cat and mouse game. Millard really mixing it up really well right now.
We'll call it 2 on the carry. The ball out at the 44-yard line, Millard's side of the field. Again, 3-0, Eagles on top with 8:50 to go in the first half. Cranny back to pass, swings it out into the flat, and it's complete. Coming around the right side is Brunson, and he's taken down close to the midfield stripe.
We've got a lot of red jerseys out there, but he was able to get some good yardage before they get there. But again, just reading the defensive secondary, he was looking downfield, Cranny was, nothing there, swings it out to the back, out of the backfield, and picks up, 8 yards.
So Millard right at midfield. It'll be a 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Clock running with 8:14 to go in the first half. Again, 3-0. Eagles lead it here. Again, Austin Wardle split wide to the far side. Ashman here to the near side, and here is the pitch to Brunson, getting around the left side, going to have a little bit of room to run. He'll have the 1st down and more. As he dives ahead to the 40-yard line, it'll be a gain of 10, and again a 1st down.
And again, the pitch sweep is all they're running there, and ahead of Rubalcava out in front of him, making the block on the corner. And you got their switch blocking on the outside. The wide receivers coming down inside on the block, which brings his man down inside and gives Rubalcava from the backfield a better angle to get out there and make the block on the outside corner. So they're switch blocking that outside, and they're getting some good yardage out of it.
Miller just 2 yards away from hitting the century mark as far as total offense is concerned. And again, out of the shotgun is Cranny, as he will give it to Brunson, and he'll just go right up the middle for a gain of about 9.
And I think now what you're seeing is what Millard is doing, and I don't mean to keep, on the Millard side, but their scheme and the things that they've mixed up and the different things that they've done have really started to open some lanes up now within that Delta defense. And because of all the things that they've been able to do, they've been more wide open than Delta. And, of course, they've got a game under their belt, so that makes a difference. They're a part of a game.
2nd down and 2, we'll call it, from the 32-yard line of Delta as we approach 7 minutes to go here in the first half. And, again, Cranny in the shotgun. And he's going to keep it himself. Fakes the handoff and dives ahead close to the 25. That's going to be a gain of nearly 7 yards.
Shoestring tackle by Ridge Peterson, I believe it was. Kept a touchdown from there. He caught him in the shoe as he went by, or he'd have gone. But again, angles are opening up for Millard.
And the offensive set coming out of the shotgun, I think it's thrown Delta for a little bit of a loop trying to figure it out. And you got to give Cranny a lot of credit. And his center, he hasn't had a bad snap yet.
Well, now you're going to jinx him again. But again, they go to this what they call pistol because it thinks it'll give them more time to read.
You're right.
That tackle read on the fullback dive and things like that. It gives them a little bit extra time, he thinks.
With the pistol, he's got an option to go to either back to either side. Here's a pass out in the flat, a little bit incomplete, a little too far wide, I should say, down at the 15. I think he was looking for Alcala out there.
It was Paco Alcala who intended for, but Paco did not make a sharp corner. He rounded that corner off, and it threw the pass off a little bit because he did not make a sharp corner and get to the outside.
And you can tell, folks, Dennis, what's the difference between the shotgun and a pistol? Because people are going to go, what do you mean pistol?
I don't know.
He's got back standing right behind him and to the side of him, so it's a little more of a pistol rather than being back there behind him. Here is the pitch to Brunson. Cuts it up inside, dives close to the 22. It'll be a gain of about 3. And now Millard with 75 yards rushing here tonight in this first half to go with that 41 yards passing. 6:10 to go in the first half, and they're facing a 3rd down and 7.
And this is the time. I mean, running teams do not want to get in 3rd and longs.
Yeah.
That's the death of a running team.
And
Delta, they get it sometimes,
and on the other side, Delta desperately needs a stop right here to force a 4th down and long. Back to pass, Cranny from his own 30, stepping up. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and runs right through 3 tackles, and then the ball comes loose, and they say, no, he was down at the 20. I believe he's going to pick up a gain of about 3.
That was, that passing situation there. They kept all 3 running backs in the backfield there. They sent out 2 wide receivers. I mean, he was locked on to Wardle the whole time. They're trying to make that pass. And the corner over there, I did not get the number, but he did a tremendous job. He locked on to Wardle and would not let him get free, so Cranny couldn't throw the ball. He had no secondary pass route. He had no swing. He had no back out. It was him and Wardle and all. There was nothing else he could do. So he had to run it.
4th and 5 from the 20. A field goal here would be about a 37-yarder, but they'll go for it instead. Here is the pitch. Brunson around this right end. Needs a block, and I think he's going to get it. He'll have the 1st down and more. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line. That'll be a nice gain of about 14.
Again, the pitch sweep, this time to the right side. And again, the switch block, the wide receiver coming down, the back coming out, kicking the corner out. And that's paying huge dividends for Millard right now. That's been a great play on this drive. They've run it, 4 times?
This will be the 11th play of the drive as they have it 1st down and 10. Just at about the 6-yard line. 5:34 to go in the first half. Millard looking to add to their lead. 3-0 so far. And again, a double wide formation. Cranny will come up under center. This time back to their conventional inverted wishbone. Here's the give. Alcala off that left tackle, dives ahead for a gain of about 3.
Going off that left-hand side where I believe you've got Walker Swallow and you've got Cole Watcott on that side. That seems to be their strong side right now.
So it'll be 2nd down and goal for Millard. The ball just inside of the 4-yard line, inside closer to the 3. As we approach 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, 3-0. After the 28-yard field goal. And again, back to the inverted wishbone. Again, here's Cranny under center. He'll take it, Gives to his fullback, and no gain on the play there. I believe that was Kyle Bartholomew out of the backfield.
And Mark Denbo, Delta, made a big play there, stopped that momentum right there, took that on. That was, I believe that time they more or less ran power I that time. They moved that one fullback over, straight power ahead, and Denbo blew that right up.
So the ball's right on the 3-yard line, and I'm sure Coach Sheriff, if he doesn't get it on this one, they'll go for it on 4th down. They basically have 2 downs to punch this one in. Again, 2 wide receivers set, one to the near side, one to the far side. Here is Cranny. So he'll send his back in motion, and now here is the pitch. Brunson around the left side, and he dives for the end zone and gets in. Touchdown from 3 yards out.
Again, good play inside out. He cuts to the inside, brought the defense down, and bounced back to the outside to get to that corner. And Delta bid on the initial juke to the inside, brought that corner in. He was able to get outside enough to get over the top and for the touchdown.
That's a 13-play drive, Coach. That wow, Coach Sheriff has just got to be smiling ear to ear when he can take the ball and go 74 yards and 13 plays. Not only do you get the score, but you take the time off the clock. The kick is up.
Clock eating and demoralizing.
And it's good. So with 4:07 to go here in the first half, Millard now out on top, 10-0. We'll be back after this 1-minute break.
Are you ready for a weekend away? Jorgensen's Honda is the place to start. They carry a full line of RVs to make that trip a lasting memory. With models like Yellowstone, Conquest, Amerilite, and Canyon Trail, you can find the perfect fit. For great fun and comfort, check out the full line of RVs at Jorgensen's Honda. Dennis or Mike can help you out. Stop by today at 980 South Coveview Road in Richfield, or give them a call at 435-896-6408.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
So as we come back live, here's All Call to kick this one off. Again, it's right down the middle, a little bit of a squibber. Held it almost up for a moment. Now they pick it up. And a nice tackle in the open field. As
Tyler Gamble.
Return man is cut down at about the 22-yard line for Delta. And I believe that was Austin Chappell that picked that one up and took it back. We'll call it the 23-yard line.
Tyler Gamble with that diving tackle right at the shoe tops to take him down.
4:04 to go here in the first half, 10-0. Millard leads Delta alongside Dennis Aldridge. I'm Ken Nielsen. Glad to have you with us here on a Friday night. Hope you enjoy the broadcast, whether you're listening in on KMGR or watching us here on local TV channel 10. So Delta again from their own 23-yard line. And wow, what a play there coming through.
Cole Watcott once again.
Takes Victor Almanza down for no gain. Might have even been a loss of 1. It almost looked like he was untouched coming through.
He did. He shot that gap and got there in a hurry. I mean, again, both sides recognize the plays that are coming out. Delta's struggling recognizing Millard's plays because of the way they've mixed it up. But Millard recognizing those plays, your back that came in motion must have come a little early because he broke down because he didn't want to get outside that end because, the blocking was inside, and he broke down, almost stopped, giving a great read for the defense for Millard.
So it'll be 2nd down and 11. The ball inside of their own 22-yard line. And here's the pitch. Ooh, nice catch there by Almanza. It looked like that might be trouble, and he works his way through one tackle and dives out to the 30, so a gain of nearly 8 yards for Almanza.
Good running, good job of running there. As he was hit early. I said ooh on the radio because the defensive end about took that pitch, but it just got past him, and then Almanza did a great job setting up the running play, juked in and out, got past the corner, and made a nice gain on it.
Still plenty of time right here. If Millard can get a stop on a 3rd down and 3, Delta needs to convert right here. 2:42 and counting. Here's the give. Second back through and tries to get ahead for the first, but I don't think that Almanza got it.
Gonna be close. the near side official saying 4th down.
Got a couple, but they're looking, and now they're going to kill the clock and measure. And this gives us a chance once again to thank all of our sponsors that are here with us tonight. McDonald's, we appreciate them being with us, along with Intermountain Power, also Jorgensen Honda, Central Valley Medical Center, Service Drug, Delta Medical Center, Drew Bay Chevrolet, RC Staples, Delta City, Lovell Pharmacy, Oasis Seed Co-op, of course Snow College, Sunrise Engineering, and SUU. As they measure, it is how much? About a couple inches maybe. Also, Stevens Feed is with us here, along with Miller's Subway, Kern River Gas, Flowell Electric, Carl's Jr., Roper Lumber, Fillmore City, Dwayne's Food Town, Service Drug of Fillmore. We mentioned Sunrise Engineering, Fillmore Medical Center, Millard County Credit Union, also Fillmore Shell and IFA. Of course, we're right here live with Centricom, Channel 10, Jorgensen Honda, Central Valley Medical Center, and we're ready to go on a 4th down and a couple of inches.
This is huge, for it. If you don't get this, they're a great field position for Millard. This is huge.
Now here's the snap, and off the left tackle, it looks like Delta is going to have enough for the 1st down.
That's a big chance to take there. You say it's only a couple of inches, but you're in a position on the field and a time and a half where if you don't get that, something happens and you don't get that, you put Millard in a position where they got a real chance to, put a dagger in before halftime.
That was Trace Willoughby in the backfield that got the 1st down. So we've seen various players coming in and handling the ball for Delta. And again, Coach Falsey, I think you mentioned it earlier, this is their first game, the first action of any kind against an opponent. So they're trying a few different things, taking a different look here and there, and that's why you play the preseason.
Yep.
Minute 49 and counting, and Delta with a 1st down and 10. They go nowhere. Coming around this left side, once again, Victor Almanza, just nowhere to go right there.
Walker Swallow stuffed the hole. Pierce Whitaker coming off the corner. The outside linebacker position, nowhere to go. Swallow had the hole stuffed up.
Maybe the length of the football in the game, but that's about it. Clock runs 1:20 and counting here in the 1st half. Again, 10-0. Millard leads it here. And Lovell back to pass, comes out into the flat and missed his intended receiver out here at about the 49-yard line. He was looking for Derek Burton. The pass just a little bit high as Derek kind of got turned around and had to try to go up and catch it in the fingertips.
And defending on the play was Skylar Cranny, so as he went up, he had Cranny holding on to him, so pretty hard to get up for that play.
Now here's the thing though, Dennis, that stops the clock at 1:10 and you've got 3rd down and almost 10 yards to go. So once again, if Delta doesn't pick up the 1st down, look for Coach Sheriff to call a timeout here to stop the clock.
Yeah.
Again, the ball out at about the 34-yard line, Delta side of the field. Back to pass again. And down, right side, overshot the receiver on the far side, out near the 50-yard line.
This shows your game situation like you're talking about. The quarterback and receivers are not in sync. He's throwing that ball almost blind, and the receivers are not in the pattern where he's expecting them to be. That'll change with a lot of game experience, but right now they're just not in sync with one another.
Kip Zubek was the intended receiver, but the ball overthrown. Brings up 4th down and almost 10. The snap bobbled, but then picked up. Kicks away, and it will hit at the 46 and rolls down inside of the 40. And Delta hurries and goes down and touches the ball to stop the clock. And I would think, I'd say maybe, just go stand by it and let the clock continue to run to get rid of some of that time. And players will learn that.
It's an easy game up here.
Because as soon as he touches, okay, the official stops it. And if he'd have stood there for a while, it might have run for a few more seconds. Whether that makes any difference, I don't know.
A few seconds, that makes a big difference in this game.
So Delta now with their 3rd punt of the ball game, and Millard with 56 seconds on the clock as they have it at their own 33-yard line. In the pistol formation, Cranny back to pass, looks, now he's going to tuck it and run. Got plenty of room up the middle, slides, loses his feet, and goes down at about the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 4, maybe 5 yards.
He seems to have the same footing problem that earlier one of the Delta players had in that same area of the field. Seems a little bit slick right there.
So second down and a long 4. Cranny again back to pass. The left-hander goes down the far sideline. Ball's up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Down at about the 27-yard line, and I think we'll wait and see who the number is coming across for the Rabbits. I think that is Brandon Cahoon, 86.
Number 20. Young man coming off here, number 20, isn't it? Austin Chappell. Austin Chappell on that interception.
Right, that was Austin Chappell. We'll give him credit. We apologize. Austin Chappell, very heady football player. He plays so hard. And he gets the ball back for Delta with 28 seconds to go. So Austin plays it well, got his head around, located the ball, went up, made a nice grab.
Yeah, Cranny's got to throw that out there where nobody can get it.
Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers in central and southern Utah. They buy and sell alfalfa hay and can haul your hay to wherever it needs to go. You can be assured that you'll get the right price while receiving the service you deserve when buying and selling hay. The entire crew appreciates farmers and ranchers for their business over the years, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
Every day is a good day to shop Drew Bay for a new truck. Check out the all-new, from the hubcaps to the headliner, 2014 Chevy Silverado. The all-new Silverado has four-wheel disc brakes for superb stopping ability. This beast boasts 355 horsepower with 383 foot-pounds of torque, up to 420 horses and 450 pounds of torque. You choose. Be sure to ask about active fuel management and optional bed lengths and other available options. The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado makes every day a good day to shop Drew Bay. Drew Bay Chevrolet, Delta.
So not a lot of time left for the Rabbits to try and do something here. Only 28 seconds. They have the ball on their own 27-yard line. We'll see what they choose to do here. And just a little counter. Only going to pick up, well, I don't know if they'll pick up anything on the play right there. I think they may say that's enough.
Yeah, I think they're content to let this thing run out and go back in for some, to figure out what to do here.
And the clock continues to run right here, as I think Delta will just say, let's go to the locker room and regroup.
Yeah, they're just letting this thing run out. They've got to figure some things out in the locker room here, and they know it.
So at the end of the first half, Millard looking very impressive on that last drive. Well, before the interception, but you know what? That's what they're trying to move it in a hurry. But the drive before that, as we mentioned, they went 13 plays and to pick up the touchdown. They lead at 10-0. So again, appreciate you being with us here on a Friday night. We're going to step away for about 3 minutes and give some credit to all of our sponsors out there. Again, you're listening to Delta High and Millard High football right here on KMGR Radio and local Channel 10 on the cable, and we're streaming it live. Good to have you with us. We'll be back after this 3-minute break.
Miller's, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco are happy to support Millard High School. Not only can you stop in for top-quality gasoline and oil products, but you can fill up on snacks, goodies, and drinks. You'll also find their irresistible, world-famous fried chicken and potato logs. Miller's can also service your vehicle with mechanical service or a new set of tires. And dine in on delicious and healthy meal selections at Subway. That's Miller's, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco on the North I-15 interchange in Fillmore, proud to sponsor the player of the game.
Hey, hold up there. Don't blow your hard-earned money on ag supplies and such until you visit Oasis Seed Cooperative in Delta. There's Montana Silversmith and that special lady. Well, hey, Oasis Seed has your planting supplies too, but Oasis Seed is more than a seed company. Animal health products, livestock panels, gates, poles, fencing supplies, for sure, but so much more. Wrangler, tack, saddles, and much more. Work hard, but spend wisely at Oasis Seed Cooperative, 290 North, 1000 West, Delta.
Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
At Level Pharmacy in Delta, we put the love in customer service. We do it by offering so much more than just pharmaceutical care. Try our Jackson Hole Soda, BYU ice cream, and our cheese curds from Beaver Cheese Plant. For all of your gift-giving needs, from baby showers to birthday presents, shop Level Pharmacy. And don't forget our nice, informative, caring staff. Remember, we put the love in customer service at Level Pharmacy. Find us at 111 East Main Street in Delta.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
RC Staples has been your family shoe and clothing outlet in Delta since 1995. If you need to outfit an individual, a family, or a missionary, RC Staples is the place. There's luggage, tuxedo rentals, and much more. RC Staples is very conscious of changing styles and fashion trends as they cater to the lifestyle, budget, and tastes of Millard County residents. Hey, RC Staples is both trendy and price conscious. So shop with confidence. That's RC Staples, 261 West Main, Delta.
And once again, welcome back inside of the press box here at Delta High School as Millard leads it here by a score of 10-0. We want to thank Southern Utah University as they sponsor the halftime show. As Southern Utah University, where you get involved in your education and experience more. From a new freshman to a graduate student, an SUU education is designed to help you experience more out of your education. So again, our thanks to Southern Utah University. And so far here tonight, Millard has come out and they've looked pretty sharp as not only do they lead at 10-0, but as far as statistics are concerned, those numbers reflect that. 22 rushing attempts for the Eagles for 103 yards, and Cranny is 5 for 8 passing for 41 yards, so 144 total yards, not a bad number for a first half.
That's a tremendous number for the first half, and like I said, you jinxed him though. He's 4 for 4, and then you said something about it. But, again, you don't have to complete 20 or 30 passes in this offense. 8 to 12 is wonderful because it keeps the other team, off balance. But they have mixed it up well, and I think a lot of what you're seeing is the fact that Millard got some playing time last week, and Delta got none. And you can practice for weeks and weeks and weeks, but you got to have gameplay. You got to have another opponent out there that you can compete against. And then you begin to diagnose what you need to do and what you don't need to do. So it makes a difference to me. I think that's a huge difference right now.
As far as Delta's concerned, on their side of the ledger, 17 rushing attempts for 52 yards. And they are 0 for 4 throwing the ball so far in this game. So 52 total yards. Obviously some adjustments are going to be made in the locker room. We'll see what happens here in the second half. But so far, Millard has looked very good defensively. And you said that to me before we got on the broadcast tonight. You said over at JUAB, defensively they looked pretty darn good against a top-ranked team in the 3A South.
And your statistics are about 180-degree turn from what they were in JUAB, where JUAB was getting the yardage and Millard was not. And now the same thing is rolled over. But I think a lot of what we're seeing right now out of the Millard attack are the things that Coach Sheriff wanted to use second half against JUAB that he's holding back on. This game he's pulled it out of the hat the first half, and he's really mixing it up well. But the statistics show, exactly what the score would represent.
And here's a score from the NCAA ranks, and I know you'll just be thrilled for this one. In the fourth quarter, BYU leads Connecticut 28-10. So last year, awful showing over at Virginia, but this year they go back east and they're looking a lot better. So those of you that are BYU fans got to be thrilled with that score so far.
And before I left home, I got to see the end of the first part of the first quarter. In fact, BYU had scored the first 2 touchdowns, but what a difference a year makes for Taysom Hill. He looked much more polished again, like you say. The same thing we're talking here about game experience. Taysom Hill, a whole different persona than he was first game last year.
So again in this one, Millard out to the quick lead, 10-0 over the Rabbits here at halftime. And of course, this is a preseason ball game. Millard playing out of the 2A division, Delta in the 3A South division. Next week, Delta on the road at Emory. And then after that one, they've got to go to the number 1 team in the 3A, and that'll be Judge Memorial, who is just loaded this year. So their work cut out for them in the preseason. And as far as Millard's concerned, you've got their schedule as well. You can probably tell them where they're headed next week.
They got a home game next week. As region starts for them next week, is starting of region. And you called this a preseason game, but not too long ago, this was the season for these two teams. Again, they're not quite as sharp as they were a few years back, but this was the season. No matter what else you did, it was the BYU-Utah effect. This was it. Winner of this, no matter what you did the rest of the season, this made your whole season.
Absolutely. There's a few scores to pass on to you from throughout the state, brought to you by Stevens Feed, along with Miller Subway, Kern River Gas, and Flowwell Electric. As we look at game scores starting to come in now. Right now, Alta and Lone Peak tangling. Lone Peak leading 14-13. In the second quarter, Kanab leading Beaver 9-0.
Wow.
How about that one? Down south, Cedar 28-7 over Canyon View, and they've still got 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Carbon, how about Carbon getting their first win last week with Jan Jorgensen at the controls? Carbon leading American Leadership 14-7. In the second quarter, Corner Canyon leading Springville. I should say Springville leading Corner Canyon 14-7. A few other scores. We'll try and pick some. Enterprise 13-0 over Milford at the half. How about this one, Coach? 9:19 to go in the second quarter, and Juab leading Ben Lomond 30-0. And I just talked about Judge Memorial. Delta will see Judge here in a couple weeks. They lead the bigger school, Woods Cross, 6:13 to go in the second, by a score 14-7. Wow. Well, with that being said, we're going to take another quick break, allow you to see who our sponsors in. Again, we appreciate Centricom allowing us to broadcast this one here tonight on the local Channel 10, also KMGR Radio. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of our halftime show right after this.
You want a quality education? How's this? All of SUU's nursing graduates passed their licensing exam on the first try in May of 2010. 100% of our students, not most of them, all of them. Small classes, caring faculty, the best facilities. That equals quality. Again, in May of 2011, 100% of our students passed the test. That's quality. You expect it, SUU delivers it.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab high schools. Come visit Delta City, the largest community in Millard County and the surrounding area. Recreational opportunities abound, including camping, hiking, fishing, water skiing on the Gunnison Bend Reservoir, motocross racing, four-wheeling at the dunes, or playing 18 holes of golf on our Jewel of the Desert. Then spend a day experiencing the thrill of finding your own fossils in one of the world's richest deposits of trilobites. Delta is also Utah's gateway into the Great Basin National Park. West Millard County can satisfy all your recreational needs. Delta City.
Tasting notes for the Carl's Jr. Texas Barbecue Thick Burger by Texas race car legend Terry Labonte.
Boy, there's nothing better than a juicy char-broiled burger. But when you pile on fried jalapenos and mouth-watering barbecue brisket, smoked for hours and hours and slathered in mesquite barbecue sauce, you got a Texas winner.
The Texas Barbecue Thick Burger with smoked brisket, mesquite barbecue sauce, and jalapeno straws. New at Carl's Jr. For limited time, available at standard half-pound thick burgers.
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles!
And once again, welcome back to the Southern Utah University Halftime Show. SUU, where you get involved in your education so you experience more in your learning. Also, an education designed to give you a memorable experience. Look into Southern Utah University and experience more. And again, our thanks to SUU for helping us bring this game here to you tonight. Alongside Dennis Aldridge, I'm Ken Nielsen, and of course our producer in the booth here tonight, Nate Palmer, and running our camera, Allie Palmer, and we appreciate them being with us here tonight. It takes a crew to put this on, and we appreciate them. I know Nate's put on a lot of miles today, coming over, getting things set up, traveling back and forth, and so good to have him with us here in the booth on a Friday night in Delta. So far, it's been all Millard in this one. They lead it 10-0, as we mentioned. Not only on the scoreboard, but the stat sheet showing that as well. Delta with 4 possessions. Well, you could call it 5. They had one play right before the end of the half, but the first possession ended in 5 plays and a punt. Their second possession, 4 plays, and they turned it over on downs. In their third possession, again, 4 plays and a punt. And in that final possession, they had 7 plays before they ended up having to kick it away. And Millard, as we mentioned, they have a 28-yard field goal on their second possession of the game. And then the third possession, they go 74 yards in 13 plays to get the touchdown. Brunson in from 3 yards out. And that's your scoring. 10-0 so far in the game. And we'll see if Delta can make a few adjustments, get their offense on track. You know, not that they had a poor game defensively, giving up 10 points, but they just got to get that offense to start to click.
Well, and again, they look a lot like Millard did last week, you know, and I think that's a huge difference for them. They look a lot like Millard did. They're not sure yet of who belongs where, what's going to happen, you know, who comes through in a big situation. They're not sure who their leaders on field are yet, and who should step up in certain situations. They're just not. They haven't had that experience, and you miss a game, and that'll happen to you. And I suspect that Delta will get that squared away. They'll get that figured out, but you've got to play games to do that.
And again, this is a rivalry game. This is the 91st meeting between these two teams, and it dates all the way back to 1926, as we mentioned. Coach Dennis Aldridge, he's been involved in several of these. In fact, just talking to him, he was roaming the sidelines for about 8 years for Millard, and I looked up a few of these things. Had several region championships and has a state championship to his credit as well back in 1988. So a plethora of information in the booth from a coach that's been there and done that.
Yeah. If I was that great of a coach, though, I'd still be coaching. But it's a lot easier up here, though. But, you know, those were fun times. And I you know, I look at what we're talking a rivalry here. Back in that day, this Delta-Millard rivalry was, I mean, it was so much more pitched, if you'd say that. It seemed we were both in the same league back then, 2A. You know, and crosstown rivalry, and every year, Millard or Delta, you know, you used to get the championship. Whoever won out of those two teams ended up in the championship. And Dean was a young coach. I was a young coach. We were following up on the Lou Munson thing, and you always had the fire rally the night before the game. And I mean, people come from all over the state for that ball game, you know. And we talk about the crowds now not being quite what they were, but. You know, that used to be a lot There used to be a lot more at stake, it seemed like, back then.
And,
it was blood and guts.
There are more activities now, more sports. There have been several added.
Yeah.
And so
and
your
Delta's
kids
been out of the league for Delta Millard didn't play for some 12 years or something like that. And so the kids that are playing now, their parents remember the rivalry, but the kids don't necessarily remember the rivalry like they did.
We're just about ready to start this second half. Kickoff goes into the end zone, but nobody moves.
Well, yeah, Delta snuck up on Millard. The white hat hadn't waved yet. He's down there setting things up, and Delta kicks in the end zone. Good move if you can get away with it.
As we mentioned, Millard won the opening coin toss, and they deferred till the second half, so they'll have the ball to start. And the second half brought to you by McDonald's, along with Intermountain Power, Jorgensen Honda, Central Valley Medical Center, Service Drug, and Drew Bay, several Chevrolet. Drew Bay invited me to invite you down. They've got a special vehicle just ready to go for you.
For me?
Yes.
All right. Are they going to help me pay for it?
No.
That'd be, oh, well. Well, then Shane Rowley's going to have to help me pay for it. I know he's bloated.
Kickoff into the end zone will be a touchback. Yes, he is. As he's sitting right next to you, so you could hit him up for a loan.
Yeah, he told me he'd give me lots of money to help buy a car from Drew Bay Chevrolet.
Stop by and they'll show you all the great cars and trucks. They've got the Silverado, and that I believe that's what I drive. I drive the Silverado, and I believe you do as well.
Yeah, bought it from Drew Bay Chevrolet. They are great supporters of local athletics, and boy, will they help you. You know, when you try to buy one, they're not just interested in selling cars; they're interested in helping people and creating friendships.
Absolutely, Cranny out of the pistol, floats it out left side, complete. And the receiver takes it ahead, breaks a tackle, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 27, 28-yard line. If you can get a number there, I think.
Austin Wardle was the receiver, yeah. Again, they've gone back to what they started out with. You know, that little ISO out there, that quick screen. Even though that time it was the naked screen, they had no blockers out there. But they're relying on the athletic ability of Wardle to make something happen, and he is a good athlete.
Just underway here, second half action. 10-0. Millard leading, and they have the ball. Out at the 27-yard line on the Eagles side of the field. Millard moving from left to right on your screen, left to right on your dial. Cranny keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, and then gets cut down right at the 35-yard line, but that's enough for about a 7-8-yard gain and a first down.
Much better job there by Cranny as he faked the dive and then followed, but he didn't loop the follow. He stayed right on the hip of his blocker and came right off the wall of blockers behind the lead blocker. Did a nice job of following that instead of getting out where the tacklers for Delta, the defenders, could get to him out in open space.
So 2 plays here for Millard to start the half, and they've got 15 yards and a first down, the 35-yard line for the Eagles. And again, Cranny stands at his own 30 in the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 here to the near side. He'll take the snap, step back, and is sacked. Wow, back at about the 27-yard line.
Line side by number 47, Jack Dutson.
Well, Jack comes in, and they almost lost the ball. That was close.
And Cranny's feeling that. He's kind of hurting a little bit on that side, but great blind side, and he got past the blocker, and nobody in front of him. He put him down. That's the break that Delta's been looking for defensively to kind of stir some things up.
So Dutson coming off that left side gets the sack. It'll be an 8-yard loss for Millard. Brings up 2nd and 18. And Wardle will be split wide to the left. Cranny up under center this time. Rolls back to pass, rolls that side, left side, and almost a great catch out near the 40-yard line. Alcala, if that ball is thrown to the outside shoulder, he's got the catch, but it was a little inside, had to turn around, couldn't quite haul it in.
Yeah, just back to the inside shoulder. You're right, spun him clear around, couldn't make the catch.
So now a 3rd down and 18.
And again, if you're not a great passing team, this is a terrible down. 3rd down and this many yards, you never want to be in this situation.
Clock is stopped at 10:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Again, 10-0. Eagles on top. 3 wide, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Whoop, and 2 players jump, 1 on either side. And This will go towards Millard on a motion, it looks like.
He was going to make sure, as a right offensive tackle, going to make sure that 47, Dutson, did not get the blind side again. He was going to get out of his stance early and make sure he didn't get there.
So what's 5 more? 3rd and 18, or?
That'd be, well, 3rd and, it might be a whole whoop up.
3rd and 23. We'll see what Coach Sheriff pulls out of his bag of tricks right here. I assume he'll be somewhat conservative here on this one, not risking a turnover down on his side of the field right here.
Generally speaking, he's going to go full house backfield and keep max protection in.
Snap, back to pass, Cranny looking, going to step up down that far sideline, looking for Wardle, and it's knocked down at the 41-yard line.
Again, just underthrown. If you're going to throw that, he's got to throw that sooner if he can't throw it that far. So if he throws that sooner, Wardle was beyond the defense, but because he waited too long, it's underthrown, and the defender gets back and almost picks it off again. Wardle had to turn into a defender to strip it away from the Delta defender. But you got to throw it sooner if you're going to throw it that far.
I believe that was Austin Chappell again out there defending. He has 1 pick already tonight. Just about had his 2nd right there. So Delta drifts back to about their own 45-yard line to take away. What a beautiful punt, hanging up high and caught at the 41.
Whoa!
And what a hit at the 47-yard line.
Woo!
Wow. That was Austin Chappell that took the hit. Boy.
He's coming off a little gingerly. That was a collision between 3 defenders for Millard and a blocker for Delta and the ball carrier Chappell. That was a heck of a hit. All of them came together at the same time.
And Chappell did a nice job just to hang on to the
Hang
ball.
on to that ball, yeah.
Beautiful high punt, though. That thing hung up for a long time and allowed the defense to come down.
Again, Paco Alcala, a tremendously strong leg. And again, I said the Hispanic kids in our soccer program have really aided the kicking game for the football team.
Great weapon is Alcala. Almanza in motion, comes to the left side. They'll counter back to the right, and they'll pick up about 5 yards to the 49 of Millard.
Wow.
And I believe that was Daxton Johnson. Might have lost his helmet right there at the end of the play. Give him 4 on the carry. Delta now with 56 yards rushing, but they are in Millard territory at the 49-yard line with 9.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 10-0, Millard leading. And Delta might have to hurry a little bit here to get this play off. They're down to 5, down to 4 as they'll bring it up back in motion. They do get the snap off. Back to pass.
Ooh, that could be a flag. That's got to be a flag.
I was going to say that was thrown over the middle, but the receiver kind of hung up a little bit there with the defender.
Well, the defender did not know where the ball was. He saw the receiver coming, and he actually hooked up with him and was pushing him as the ball was coming towards that. That's a PI right there.
So no flag on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6. The ball again at the 49 of Millard. And that's what the coaches are discussing down here with the near side official. So here's Bracken coming around the left end, cuts it up inside and dives to the 46. And it'll be short of the 1st down. Give him a 3, almost 4, and now decision time for Coach Russ Fowles.
Again, it's you play conservative. Do you punt and pin them deep? Do you take a chance, realizing you're giving great field position? This is normally when Delta does the come to the line of scrimmage and go hut, 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 and then call timeout.
The old double go.
Yeah.
And they will go for it, we think. 4th down and 3 from the 46-yard line. 8:35 left in the 3rd quarter. They will snap it. They'll go. Here's the pitch, and it's behind the intended back. Almanza, he cannot recover it as it gets on the ground. Doesn't matter anyway. Even if he had recovered it, he would have went out on downs. Yeah. Millard has it at the Delta 48-yard line.
Yeah, it's a nice stat to have for a young man showing a recovered fumble. However, you're right. Even if he had recovered that himself, Almanza, he was going to be down right there, and Millard would have taken over in that spot.
So a very promising drive ends right there at the 48-yard line, Delta side of the field, and Millard's got to be thrilled now. Great field position.
As we stated, that's the double-edged sword, the chance that you take. If you go for it and don't get it now, Millard in great field position. Okay.
Now a flag thrown by the official in the defensive backfield.
That's usually the guy that calls delay of game. Unless he's got not enough players on the field.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal participation against
Who?
Well, I'm assuming
can't
it's going to
decide.
be Delta because that's who he was counting from that backside.
They got too many players.
Well, now they're going to run 3 in. And yeah, they're going to call illegal participation on Delta.
So that'll cost them 5. So 12 men on the field is what it
They
was.
must have had 12 because they sent 2 in and brought 3 out. So
brings up first down at 5. Franny, I believe, with the ball in that mess.
Yeah, I think he held on to it again.
Gets ahead for a couple. And the old flag, a lot of Delta fans will remember the final game of the season here last year between North Sanpete and Delta, and a playoff berth on the line. As Sanpete was ready to try and kick a field goal, and the official flagged them for 12 on the field, and then decided, nope, I was wrong, and gave him a free play there at the end that resulted in a made field goal.
And what a travesty that was for Delta. Yeah, that was terrible.
Here's Brunson around the left side. He'll go out of bounds near the stick, but it'll be, I believe, a holding call. This is going to come back as the flag came.
It'll be a block in the back or a block below the waist, one or the other. I think they were both there. No, you're right. It's a hold. One guy got him high, one got him in the back, and one guy got him low, but they called the hold instead.
We really haven't seen that many flags for a game this early in the season. Yeah. It's been played fairly clean. So holding, this will take the ball 10 yards back. Boy, that's a big penalty. That's going to take it all the way back to the 44-yard line of Millard.
And see, in the second half, you talked about the momentum that Millard had gained in the first half. The 2 drives that Millard's had this half, they've shot themselves in the foot with miscues and penalties. And again, when you're in a running attack, for like these 2 teams are, you can't afford a penalty. Even a 5-yard penalty is a major setback.
So now you're second down and 18 from your own 44-yard line. It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which makes it a tough penalty. 7:53 to go in the third quarter. High snap, Cranny brings it down though, and he'll get what he can out of it as he dives ahead for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, he wanted to make the pitch there, but because the snap was bad, that he couldn't make that pitch, and tried to get what he could inside, but Delta is too tough up inside.
Again, 10-0. Millard leads it over Delta. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Alongside Dennis Aldridge, I'm Ken Nielsen. Glad to have you with us here, whether you're watching it on the internet or whether you're watching it on local Channel 10. Timeout taken on the field. We'll take it with them. 10-0. We'll be back right after this 1-minute break.
Every morning, millions of people skip breakfast. But thanks to McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast, they'll have to find something else to skip, like waiting for the shower to warm up, putting in their contacts. Ow. Or they could just wear that wet towel to work.
Good morning, everyone.
There are options, people, but skipping McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast isn't one of them. So grab a sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin sandwich, premium roast coffee, and more for just $1 each. That's the simple joy of breakfast at McDonald's.
Your Delta McDonald's, a proud supporter of Delta High School sports.
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Food Town in Fillmore. Dwayne's Food Town prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Food Town, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
And on a third down and 14, as Millard out of the pistol, the snap is not handled well. It's fumbled on the ground. And they said Delta got it. I thought he got back on it.
I did too, but the center hit himself right in the butt with the snap. And he struggled the first half. You made comment about how it done so well with snapping the ball, and now the second half he's having some real problems with it. So that Delta one hit himself right in the butt, dropped down, and Delta got on it. So.
Wow, Delta catches a huge break there, Coach, because now they have it 1st and 10 on the Millard 46. Here's a couple more scores for you. At the half, Provo leads Manti 21-14. North Severe 21-7 over Gunnison.
Wow, good for North Severe.
So best field position of the night to start a drive for Delta. Here's Almanza off the right tackle. A gain of 2, maybe 3 yards, brings up second down at 7.
Rubalcava in the middle of that defensive stand right there, comes from his linebacking spot and hits him early and takes him down.
We'll give him a gain of 2. Delta now with 61 yards rushing tonight, which is, well, certainly not up to standard for a Delta team usually.
When you're a pure running team, 61 yards in almost 3 quarters, I know.
Millard with 105 on the night so far. Second down and 8 from the 44-yard line of Millard. Double tight formation this time as Bracken Lovell up under center, as he will fake the handoff. And I'm not sure if he was wanting to pitch that and it just wasn't there, and he tried to cut it back and get what he could, but there'll be no gain on the play.
I keep hating to harp on it, but Millard now is doing to Delta what other people are doing to Millard. And they're just closing from that outside in. They're just piling everything up inside. They're committing everybody to the line of scrimmage. And again, Millard has been able to throw the ball to loosen up the defense. Delta has got to find a way, not on 3rd and long, but earlier in the count, they've got to throw the ball a little bit and loosen this defense up, because Millard's really closing it down now.
3rd down and a long 7 for the Rabbits, and again they'll come with a double tight formation as Lovell will hand it off to Victor Almanza. They had him stacked up, and then a defensive player came from behind and actually
knocked him
forward for 2 or 3 more yards.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a score for you, Coach. If you remember, who owns the longest winning streak in the state of Utah right now?
Duchesne, but they're playing North Summit tonight.
And here's a halftime score between those two teams. Duchesne at the half leading North Summit 6-2. So we'll kind of try and keep an eye on that one.
Well, that surprises me. First off, that Duchesne is ahead, but then that score's kind of interesting.
Yep. Parowan leading Diamond Ranch at the half 10-7. 4th down, Delta tries to get Millard to jump. They won't, so after this timeout, it'll be 4th down and 5. We'll see what Coach Fowles decides to do when we come back right after this 1-minute break.
Stop in today and experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore. Service Drug is not only your full-service pharmacy, but offers a wide range of books, home decor items, greeting cards, KitchenAid appliances, and so much more. Service Drug is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and also on Saturdays for your convenience. Come see the courteous staff at Service Drug, 215 West Main in Delta and 40 North Main in Fillmore. Experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
What's inside your kid? A teacher, an engineer, a musician, an accountant, a doctor, or maybe a scientist. Your kid has what it takes to excel and succeed, but they may not know it. You can help them unlock their potential and find out what's inside. Partner up with their teachers and coaches. Find out what you can do. Just something to think about. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
So Delta facing another 4th down and just under 5 to go. We'll see if they decide to go for it. They're on the 41-yard line of Millard. They trail 10-0. Rabbits desperately looking to get something on the board here. And they will line up to go for it. Again, inverted wishbone, double wide this time for the Rabbits. Here's Lovell, back to pass. Gonna go down the middle, ball's up for grabs, and almost intercepted, and Coach Sheriff is probably happy he didn't intercept it, because if he does, they get it back at about the 31. Since it was knocked down, they'll have it up at the 41.
Well, that happened last week up in Juab, too, for Millard right before the half. Juab was driving on Millard, was down inside the 10, tries to throw the ball. Actually, they were about the 15-yard line, so we intercepted on the 1-yard line or something like that. It's one of those, no, on a 4th down, you knock it down. You don't catch it on a 4th down.
Alongside Dennis Aldrich, I'm Ken Nielsen. Also producing this game for us tonight, Nate Palmer, and our camera lady tonight, Allie Palmer. So good to have the crew here with us, bringing this one live. 10-0, 4:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Millard takes over, 1st down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. And here's the give off that left tackle, ahead for a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards.
And the second half, Millard has gone more conservative. You know, they mixed it up so well that first half, it seemed like, but in this half, they seem to have gone very much more conservative. And then I think this whole 3rd quarter has been played between the 40s. I
believe that was Rubalcaba with the carry that time. Picks up 3, we'll give him. 108 yards now on the ground for the Eagles. They face a 2nd down and 7 from the 44-yard line. Good to have everybody here tonight, whether you're looking live on the internet, watching the local Channel 10 on the cable, or listening to us on KMGR. In motion comes the back. And here is the Kiev. Up the middle, goes nowhere that time. Once again.
Brunson carrying on the play, and you're right. Delta's adjusted their defense on the offense that Millard is running, but Millard is closed down. They are not doing the things they did in the first half.
So neither team able to get a whole lot going here in this third quarter as we remain 10-0 on the score. And a 3rd down and 7 facing the Eagles. The ball just inside of the 45-yard line, Millard's side of the field. 2 receivers to the far side.
Slot right down the middle.
Now they got the slot. Never mind. They'll bring their back in motion to the right side, and this is the way Wardle will come, and he'll wing it out of bounds. This could be a
flag here.
And boy, the coaches are going nuts right here on this sideline. They want a flag. Because I think you got to be outside of the tackle box. I don't know if he was.
Well, he had a receiver, but Paco Alcala had already turned up the field. So, I mean, yeah, there was a receiver kind of out there, and they're going to be real generous here because that very easily should have been called for grounding. But they're going to be generous.
In fact, it was almost a lateral. It kind of floated back.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it'll be 4th down and 7.
But as we've stated, you can't get into a 3rd and long when you're predominantly a running team.
So Alcala stands at about his own 33-yard line to kick this away. Austin Chappell will drift back close to his 20-yard line. Alcala with a great leg. This one more of a line drive kick, but very effective as it bounces away from the receiver. Chappell has to go back, pick it up, makes a move around 1, now up the right sideline, out to about the 24-yard line, but flags litter the field. 1 at the 40, 1 at the 35.
I did not see what that was. In fact, when they threw the flags, all I could see on this side were Delta kids. So it doesn't look good for Delta.
So the officials will huddle at the 40 and talk about this. And there could even be 2 fouls where there's 2 different flags that far apart.
It was a good return by the kick returner, as it looked like he'd slipped to one knee when he picked up the ball, but then was able to make a nice return out of it.
In fact, Austin Chappell had to turn and go get it. Had he not, it might have rolled out of bounds down near the 5.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, here comes the call, but no, going to have a little more discussion. Unsportsmanlike against Millard. There's the first call.
And that may be the only call.
And still some discussion here.
There must have been one of the Millard kids in the area. I did not see any Millard kids. All I saw was Delta, but there must have been one there doing something wrong.
So still a little bit of a discussion on this one. And maybe the discussion is, where do we penalize from? The end of the run?
I believe it's the end of the run on a deal like that. Sportsmanlike. Generally speaking, those kinds of penalties are as damaging as they can be to the team that committed them.
So still a lot of discussion out there between the officials.
I think they're going to take a vote, go to the legislature and see, the federal legislature, which can't take a vote.
The officials were here before the game, and I told them we do have some sponsors on some of the calls here tonight. And there it is again. He's just going to reiterate what we knew.
And they did mark it from the end of the play.
Yeah.
So 15 yards from the end of the play. Spot the ball down at the 38-yard line for Delta.
So Delta with decent field position to start this drive.
A really nice punt is totally negated by the penalty and the run back. So it comes back. So the net gain of about 10, 15 yards on the punt.
So 2:50 to go here in the third quarter. 10-0. Millard leads it here in this cross-county rivalry game. Good crowd from Millard on hand across the way. They've got their side filled. And a pretty nice crowd on this side from the west side of the county. Here's a little counter coming back to Victor Almanza, stepping through one tackle, back up inside. Here comes the pursuit. Finally, they take him down after a gain of 5 to the 44-yard line.
A nice shake and bake there by Almanza. Again, it looked like he had nothing going, but he was able to make some good yardage out of it just on his own, shaking and baking.
So it'll set up a 2nd down and 5 from the 44-yard line. Clock continues to roll with 2:20 to go in this 3rd period. Double wide formation this time. And here's the give. First back through. It'll be a 1st down.
Nice hole created on the left side by the Delta offensive lineman on the left side. Just that first back through dive, the fullback option.
That was Daxton Johnson. As he picks up 6 yards and a 1st down. So again, Delta right at the midfield stripe. We'll see if they can continue on with the offense right here. Again, they trail 10-0. Under 2 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here's the give once again to Johnson off that left tackle. Only a yard this time to the 49.
Yeah, that time the interior part of the Millard line, they stacked that right up. Carter and the other defensive lineman there, Carter, was the main one in there, standing his man up and creating a pile that they couldn't get through.
Millard has run 7 more plays than Delta in the game, yet they do lead 10-0. And obviously plenty of time in this game. 2nd down and 9. Lovell, left side, options it and tosses it out into no man's land. And Millard is going to jump on this. He was horse collar, not horse collar, but a nice tackle up around the shoulder pads, bending backwards, and he just could not make the pitch.
Well, how tall is the quarterback level?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because the guy tackling 6'8". It's hard for him to get below the shoulders. Walker Swallow's the one that grabbed him around the shoulders, and he's 6'8", grabbed him from that defensive end position, and Lovell trying to pitch the ball under duress, and it went nowhere but on the ground and was picked up by Watcott for Millard.
2nd turnover of the game for Delta, both of them on fumbles lost, and this gives Millard incredible
We continue
field
to
position.
play the whole 3rd quarter between the 40s.
So here's the give, 2nd back through, a nice gain up to about the 41-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5.
But I continue to be interested in it. I'm not coaching. I don't know what's going through their minds. But the first half, Millard was so open. With the things that they were trying to do, they were so open with their formations and their sets and their play calling and the pass versus run. But this 2nd half, it's gone almost entirely to the running game out of the full house backfield, inverted bone, and very few passes, just very, very conservative.
A little more conservative. They got the lead. And so far, Delta has not been able to get the ball down in scoring position. Here is a pass out in the flat, and it's caught down on one knee there by Wardle.
For a loss of 2.
So you're right. Completed pass, but it's back behind where the original line of scrimmage is, so it is a loss of a couple.
Now they're back into the same position they've been the last 2 times they've had the ball, 3rd and bigger than 5, 3rd and 7 in this case.
10 seconds to go here in the quarter. We'll see if they get this play off before the end of the quarter. 3rd down and 7. Ball out at the 43-yard line. They will get the snap off. Cranny keeps it himself, and he'll dive ahead inside of the 40 to about the 38. Not quite enough for a 1st down. It'll be 4th down and a couple when we come back right after this 1-minute break.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
The Millard County Credit Union offices in Fillmore and Delta want to thank you for your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but banking is easier with their e-teller home banking service. Just log on to www.millardccu.com, sign up for their e-teller services, and conveniently manage all your credit union accounts from home. That's the Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore.
So back live here at Delta High School. 12 minutes to go in this one. Fourth quarter brought to you by Service Truck, along with the Delta Medical Center, Roubaix Chevrolet, RC Staples, Delta City, Hubble Pharmacy, Oasis Seed Co-op, Snow College, Sunrise Engineering, and of course, Southern Utah University. So a big play right here. It'll be 4th down and 3 for the Eagles from the 38-yard line of Delta. Delta needs a stop, and Millard would love another set of downs to at least chew some time off this clock. Alcala in motion to the right side. They'll pitch it, and wow, what a great play there. The defense comes up and going to throw the ball carrier down for a loss back at the 45. That'll be a loss of about 6, almost 7 yards.
Millard did get inside the 40, though. They were at the 38, but Delta will take over back at the 45 again.
Brunson just had nowhere to go right there. By the time he had the pitch, the defense was there.
Block was missed on the outside, and the defender for Delta just had a steam and caught him about the same time he caught the ball. Great play.
So again, neither team has scored here in the second half. 10-0 is where we're at. Millard on top.
Your offensive stats must be very dismal for both sides as far as total yards gained.
And not a whole lot more on that one. Maybe a couple yards ahead. I think Bracken might have kept that one.
I think he did, but it looked like 22 bodies just leaning on each other. Everybody was in the pile, just 22 bodies leaning in there.
Actually picks up almost 3. Delta at 76 yards rushing.
Wow.
At the half, Millard was at 110, Coach. They're now at 111 after that last loss.
Yeah.
You're right, not a lot of yardage here in the second half. Ball goes to the second man through. Across midfield to the 49 goes Victor. Nope, excuse me. Make sure I get the right number there.
This is 44?
Yep, that is 44 for Delta on that one. And that's Johnny Hatch.
What kind of a spot was that? Wow. He took 2 yards off of that one.
So a couple of yards on the carry will make it 3rd down and just under 5 yards to go. The ball just outside of the 49 of Delta. Clock continues to run, 10:44 to go in the ball game, and it's a 10-0 lead. Millard on top. Double tight formation for Bracken Lovell as he comes under center. He'll take the snap, keeps it himself, rolls right side, cuts it back up inside, and dives for the first down, but he's going to be just about a half a yard short.
Yeah, will be. Austin Wardle again with the shoestring tackle. And Lovell able to jump in the air as he was being hit down around the ankles and got some yardage out of that. It's going to put him in a nice spot for a 4th down try. But once again, it's of course, the way Millard's been running offense right now, you go ahead and take the try because neither team has been able to move the ball.
Boy, Delta, Coach, has been in this position how many times tonight? 4th down, and they go for it, needing to pick up some momentum here. So here we go, 4th down and less than a yard. Here's the give. Almanza, and he does get the first down.
Whoa.
As he keeps the feet turning and picks up about 3 to just about the 47.
Great second effort there, got him through that because it looked like he was going to be stopped short once again, and then a second surge got him through and got him the first down.
So let's see if this won't be the drive for Delta to pick up some points as they have a 1st down and 10 from the 43-yard line of Millard. 9:43 and counting in this game. Delta trails by 10-0. Double wide. Again, the inverted wishbone. There goes Hatch in motion from right to left. The pitch, whoa, behind Almanza. He one-hands it, hangs on to it, but he's going to lose about 5 yards. But that's not the blame on Almanza right there. He did a nice job just securing the ball right there.
That was Kevin Mao, the corner sitting out there. Read that immediately and came straight forward. That the blocker was there, but he just stepped inside the blocker and went right to the pitch back. And, again, the value of a defense stripping down. Anytime you got a team running a triple option, you want to strip them down to the final option as quick as you can. And in that situation, they were able to get it in the hands of the pitchman. And Mao, coming from his corner, was able to make the play quickly.
Once again, Johnny Hatch in motion from right to left. Back to pass is Bracken. Floats it out on the left side. I don't know, did he catch it?
I don't believe he did. In fact, he's kind of looks like he maybe hurt an ankle. But you see what's happening now with Delta is that because the pass hasn't been an option for them, you're seeing the corners reacting up immediately. Anytime they go to motion, the corners are reacting up. If they could run the play action pass and send that receiver deep, those corners have rolled clear up inside, and the deep pattern would be there if he has time to throw it.
Now with Johnny Hatch, who went in motion, and he does come off the field. 3rd down and about 15 for the Rabbits. Here is the pitch, and again it's on the ground. And Almanza, I think, dives on it back at about the 42-yard line, so this is going to be a loss of almost 10 yards.
And Millard's making Delta pitch it quicker than they want to. Dutson's being pressured immediately off the reverse pivot. He's being pressured immediately and having to pitch before Almanza or anybody else is ready for it. Now, by recovering it this time, though, they will get the punt out of it.
Yeah. On a 4th and about 24, Delta obviously has to kick this one away with 8:08 to go in the ball game. End-over-end kick, going to be fielded at the 27-yard line. Flag flies in behind the play as the returner gets it out to about the 37. I think this one might come back a few yards.
Yeah, I think they're going to get an illegal block there on the Millard player. Brunson was the receiver on that one and tried to bring it forward, but it's all going to go back. And you know what looked to be a kind of a slick first half for Millard offensively, it just turned out to be a quagmire. Like you said, they've only gained totally positive yards, 1 yard. I mean, they've gained more than that, but what they've lost has negated that.
And actually, Coach, if you throw in the -2 on the one pass, they're almost even Steven right there.
Yeah.
But the good news is they lead 10-0 with under 8 minutes to go here. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors, Millard County Credit Union, along with Fillmore Shell and IFA. Again, Centricom, Channel 10, if you're watching in tonight here on the local Channel 10. Good to have you with us. Also, Jorgensen Honda, along with Central Valley Medical Center, Snow College, SUU, and Sunrise Engineering. So they'll move the ball back to the 21-yard line of Millard. And Cranny at the controls. Back to pass, looking over the middle. Down the right side. He faked me out. This is complete across midfield and out of bounds. Down around the 42-yard line. And I think you get a number on that, Coach.
Austin Wardle was the receiver. And again, pass on 1st down when they're expecting run on 3rd down when they're expecting pass.
Wow, 32 yards on the completion. And now that sets them up in great position here at the 40, just inside the 43 of Delta.
That one play flips the field for them.
So after the big gainer, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Give off the left tackle. Ahead for a gain of about 4. And I believe that was Alcala.
Yeah.
So now the clock's starting to become somewhat of a factor in this game with 7:15 to go. Delta down 2 scores, 10-0. And Millard driving here. Ball at the, just inside of the 39, almost the 38 of Delta. Alcala in motion to the right side. Cranny back to pass. Floats it out. And complete for a 1st down inside the 30-yard line.
I thought that was just out of his reach again, but that's Paco Alcala on the reception there. But
well, that was a pretty thrown ball. That was nice.
But again, what Millard's doing now is, we talked about him being conservative. They're staying in the inverted bone. They're not spreading it out like they were in the first half. But this series, first 2 downs, they throw on 1st down both times. and you catch the other team flat-footed expecting to run because you're a running team.
Clock is stopped at 6:56 as he went out of bounds with the catch. But a new set of downs for the Eagles. From the 29-yard line of Delta, here's Cranny under center. Little delayed handoff to the two-back. And up ahead for a gain of about 3 yards. And again, I believe on the carry, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was Brunson.
Brunson was on the carry. And you know, it looked like he had a whole lot more yardage than he did, but it's because he got the ball 6 yards deep in the backfield. So he ran for 10 yards but picked up 4.
Exactly. Ball at the 27-yard line of Delta, far hash mark. Again, no one has scored here in the second half. It was 10-0 at the half. But with the leg that Alcala has, they may be in field goal range right now. Cranny back to pass, looking down that left side, going to keep it himself, and takes a hit at about the 22. So a lot of running, and he picks up about 4 on the carry. But maybe a smart decision not to risk the interception.
True, but again, I think he waited too long. You had Kevin Mao out there, and he did the Z, but he waited too long until the defense had recovered. Had you thrown that on the cut of the Z out, Kevin was there, and he could have, completed a big one there.
So it'll be 3rd down and 3, and I assume this is probably 4-down territory for Coach Sheriff. Ball on the near hash mark. Again, Cranny up underneath, sends Alcala in motion to the right side. Fakes the handoff, keeps it, follows the back, bounces it back out. Ooh. And he had the first down by about 2 or 3 yards, and when he bounced back, he almost came back to the marker.
Yeah, and the saving tackle by the defender for Delta had a hold of his jersey because he was gone for a touchdown if he hadn't held on to that jersey.
4 yards and a first down for the Eagles.
Having to go for another stat sheet.
Yeah, you can see Millard has filled up their side of the stat sheet. 126 yards now rushing for Millard here on the evening. 88 yards passing. Not bad numbers in a rivalry game like this.
That's probably more passing yards than Millard's had in almost a full season.
So with a first down, Millard at the 18, excuse me. Yeah, you're at the 18, we're right. And now timeout's going to be taken on the field. We'll take it with them. 4:53 to go in this game. 10-0. We'll be back after this 1-minute break.
Okay, it's time to pop the top on another canning season, and Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply in Fillmore has you covered. Bottles, lids, pectin, and, well, hey, Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply also has juicers, dehydrators, apple peelers, and more. Okay, let's take the stress and frustration out of your canning season with the proper equipment and supplies from Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply, your local IFA dealer in Fillmore.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
And Cranny on a first down and 10. Back to pass, and the ball's tipped at about the 10-yard line, and it falls incomplete. And fortunately for the Eagles, that was not picked off. Wow.
That's the first time I think he's actually made a bad read on a throw. I mean, he's missed some passes, but that was a bad read. Even if the defender hadn't been in front of him, the receiver was covered by 3 different people. That was the first really bad read he's made.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Again at about the 18-yard line of Delta. Again, 2 wide receivers already out. Cranny under center with the inverted wishbone behind him. In motion, Alcala to the right side. They'll counter back, and this is going to go for a first down and maybe a little bit more, close to breaking that for a touchdown to the 4-yard line. And I believe
that was ahead of Rubalcava.
Yep.
And I've said that the counter hasn't worked for them for a couple of years now. Well, there he goes. He bounced that one inside and made it work.
14 yards on the carry down to the 4-yard line, and Millard knocking on the door looking for another score. With 4.5 minutes to go in the game, if they were to punch this in, that might seal the deal. Double wide formation once again. And Brunson, I believe, the ball carrier down to about the 2.
Just as straight power off the right side for Millard. Picked up a few yards.
Maybe to the 3, so we'll give him a yard on the carry. So 2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Under 4 to go in this one. Millard leads at 10-0, looking for more. Here's the give once again to Brunson, and I believe he's in. He is. Touchdown for 3 yards.
So, yeah.
And that'll push it to 16-0 with the point after try coming here momentarily. And I'll call it out for the point after try. So here's the snap. It's a good one. It's down. A low line drive kick. No good underneath the crossbar. So with 3:50 to go in the ball game, Millard tacks 6 more on the board. 16-0. We'll be back as you listen to Delta High and Millard High football right here on KMGR.
Are you ready for a weekend away? Jorgensen's Honda is the place to start. They carry a full line of RVs to make that trip a lasting memory. With models like Yellowstone, Conquest, Amerilite, and Canyon Trail, you can find the perfect fit. For great fun and comfort, check out the full line of RVs at Jorgensen's Honda. Dennis or Mike can help you out. Stop by today at 980 South Cove View Road in Richfield, or give them a call at 435-896-6408.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
Alcala set to kick this one away from his own 40. And Millard up 16-0 with 3:50 to go. Delta now going to be in a real hurry-up mode to try and get something on the board. Here's a nice high end-over-end kick and sails into the end zone for a touchback. Well, I'll tell you what, he gets that measured where that ball comes down at the 1-yard line. How effective of a kick is that? My goodness, it's nice high, hangs up there.
Yeah, the first kick of the game was nice like that. He's kind of, dribbled a couple in between, but that one was, again, it was a tremendous kick. And he's not even using a tee. He's standing it up in the grass and kicking it out of the grass like you would a corner kick in soccer.
Wow.
But he's standing it up in the grass.
So here comes Delta. First down and 10 from their own 20. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to work with here. And they've got to go in a hurry. We'll see if they choose to try and put it in the air a little bit right here. So far, Delta has yet to complete a pass on the evening. They get 71 yards rushing, but have not been able to connect through the air. So here is the give to the tailback. Nowhere to go, and a flag comes in on top of the play. And I believe in that time, new running back in for the Rabbits.
It's a hold against Delta, so add insult to injury there.
We'll try and pick up a few numbers as they come in. And Delta right now just trying to find
a rhythm.
A rhythm, yeah. And they're using, various players trying to see what works.
Yeah.
And again, it's only the first game of the season for them, so.
Trying to establish some confidence in players and situations and positions. So.
Of course, next week, Delta on the road at Embry. Millard will be at home.
Yeah, Millard at home. Because Millard's first 2 games have been on the road, so they do get a home game, but that's a long trip for Delta. Then.
Yeah. Long trip for me.
You're young. You're all right.
First down and now 20 from their own 10-yard line. And Bracken back to pass, and he's swallowed up and going to be thrown for a loss of a couple back to the 8-yard line.
And again, I harp on it. Delta is now into a must-throw situation, and as a running team, when you get stuck into a must-throw situation and you're not used to throwing and flooding zones and things like that, it is so difficult to suddenly become a passing team.
And an illegal chop block called on Delta.
Oh, wow.
But the penalty is denied because it's a 2-yard loss, and it'll bring up second 22.
Yeah, so we'll take the down in this situation. They get a timeout call here now by Delta, I believe.
So we'll take it with them with 3:38 to go in the ball game. You're watching live on local channel 10. We'll be back after this 1-minute break.
Stevens Feed and Holden serves the surrounding communities in Millard County as well as farmers in central and southern Utah. They buy and sell alfalfa hay and can haul your hay to wherever it needs to go. You can be assured that you'll get the right price while receiving the service you deserve when buying and selling hay. The entire crew appreciates farmers and ranchers for their business over the years, and they're happy to contribute to the school and community as a sports booster. That's Stevens Feed and Holden, a proud supporter of Millard Athletics.
Every day is a good day to shop Drew Bay for a new truck. Check out the all-new, from the hubcaps to the headliner, 2014 Chevy Silverado. The all-new Silverado has 4-wheel disc brakes for superb stopping ability. This beast boasts 355 horsepower with 383 foot-pounds of torque, up to 420 horses and 450 pounds of torque. You choose. Be sure to ask about active fuel management and optional bed lengths and other available options. The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado makes every day a good day to shop Drew Bay. Drew Bay Chevrolet, Delta.
So we're thrilled to be in partnership this year with Centricom Cable TV, as they are now in the Delta area with high-speed internet and their local cable package as well. You can watch Delta and Millard games throughout the year on Centricom.com live and also on local Channel 10 TV. So here's Delta on a second down and 22. And a nice gain up across 15 to the 17-yard line. I believe that was Austin Chappell.
Number 20, yes.
So that helps to get him out of a hole as he picks up 9 on the carry.
Third down and long. Again, a killer down for a running team.
And with just over 3 minutes to go in this game, now Delta just looking to try and get a little bit of rhythm, something to build on here. Ball resting at the 17. Delta side of the field. It is 3rd and 13 for the Rabbits. 2 wide receivers set. One to the far side, one to the near side. They'll send Chappell in motion to the right side. Lovell back to pass, puts it up in the air, floats it for Chappell, and he can't quite run underneath it. It falls incomplete out at about the 28-yard line.
Again, Lovell under tremendous pressure from the defensive end, and just kind of unloaded it. But at least that time it was close to the receiver.
You can see in the replay as Chappell was out in the pattern, just a step short of getting there.
Again, if Lovell has that extra half second to plant and throw that thing, good things happen. But the pressure from the defensive end takes it away.
So it'll be 4th down and 13, and Delta obviously forced to kick this one away as they are deep inside their own territory from their own 17-yard line. Nobody back deep for Millard, and the kick comes up the near sideline, hits it to 45, and wouldn't you know it for Delta, it bounces back towards them. And wisely, the Delta player knocks it down right there at the 45.
Well, this is normally the time that you put your underclassmen in for the last few minutes of the game, but Millard's underclassmen got so beat up in the JV game yesterday, I'm not sure they've got any.
We'll see if they may switch quarterbacks right here.
No, it's still same. Nope. It's the starting offense on the field, but it's just that the other kids are so beat up. In fact, I think the JV quarterback may not even be dressed.
Uh-oh. First down and 10 from the Delta 45-yard line. As you're right, Cranny will take the snap. He'll go to Brunson and ahead for a yard.
And unless somebody breaks a huge run here, I doubt that Millard will go for another score against their friends from Delta. I just don't see that happening. Unless one of the kids breaks it, you can't tell them to lay down.
No,
you got to tell them to
nor
play.
should you.
So.
You still got to play hard.
But
Second down and along 9.
But I don't think you'll see a wide open offense here.
And they will take their time, obviously, to run this thing down. Under 2 minutes to go now. 16-0. Millard leads it here.
They're in jeopardy of a penalty here, though. This is beyond taking their time.
Yeah, this one, they're going to have to hurry to get the snap off.
They're not going to make it.
And nope, they don't.
Well, there's nothing like using all the time.
Absolutely.
The full play clock.
Took it down to a minute 46. Now, this is going to be interesting here. This game is in the bag for Millard, but I'm interested to see what the head referee does here. Okay, this time he does. I've seen games where the offense has had a penalty, they've marched him back, and then they've wound the clock and given him another 25. He doesn't do it on this play here, but that's always been a question of ours up here in the booth. Because if you're the offensive team and say you're leading by 1 score with under a minute to go, you could basically
run it out on
penalty.
Yeah.
Kaba here on the carry. Left side picks up 1, maybe 2 yards. Millard at 147 yards of rushing offense. They've got 88 through the air.
But again, 147 yards and 110 of that in the first half. So
yeah. True. Third down and 13 from the 48-yard line of Delta. 16-0, Millard leads. As it's just a matter of running the time off the clock now. Here's Cranny. Wisely keeps it himself. Dives ahead for a gain of about 3 as he keeps possession and the clock running.
They got teammates out there saying, why did you keep that? The whole outside was open and we got 3 blockers out here. But again, I think it's a conservative move. They're not interested in driving a dagger into the Delta boys.
And you know what? And we obviously appreciate that. There are some teams out there that
we've met up with them also. Yeah.
4th down and 10, and obviously Millard says, let's kick it away with 28 seconds to go. And now timeout taken. With 27 seconds left, let's take another break. We'll be back with this punt when we return to Delta High School.
Miller's, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco are happy to support Millard High School. Not only can you stop in for top-quality gasoline and oil products, but you can fill up on snacks, goodies, and drinks. You'll also find their irresistible, world-famous fried chicken and potato logs. Miller's can also service your vehicle with mechanical service or a new set of tires. And dine in on delicious and healthy meal selections at Subway. That's Miller's, Chevron, Subway, and Texaco on the North I-15 interchange in Fillmore, proud to sponsor the player of the game.
Hey, hold up there. Don't blow your hard-earned money on ag supplies and such until you visit Oasis Seed Cooperative in Delta. There's Montana Silversmith and that special lady. Well, hey, Oasis Seed has your planting supplies too, but Oasis Seed is more than a seed company. Animal health products, livestock panels, gates, poles, fencing supplies, for sure, but so much more. Wrangler, tack, saddles, and much more. Work hard, but spend wisely at Oasis Seed Cooperative, 290 North, 1000 West, Delta.
So Alcala with the punt does a nice job angling it for the far sideline, out of bounds at about the 18-yard line with 22 seconds to go in this one. And for Delta, I'm sure they'll go back and try and make some adjustments for their next game. They're going to see a completely different offense next week with Emory, of course.
They still spread run the double wing kind of thing,
yeah,
the motion across the back. And again, they're the only ones that do that. But that is the advantage. If you're the only team that runs something like that, generally speaking, it's tough to get ready for them in 1 week if they do it well.
Wow, hit in the backfield. I believe that was Victor Almanza. Just as he got the ball, he is taken down for a loss of a couple.
Tyler Gamble on the tackle, and that may be the last play.
Down to 4, and I don't think Delta, nope, they will not get another playoff. So that will bring this rivalry game to an end as the Eagles will reclaim the helmet down on the far end underneath the scoreboard. The two schools got together and painted a helmet. Half side of it's blue, half side of it's red. And the winner gets to keep it for the rest of the year. So
it's to replace the old hatchet that used to get traded back and forth.
So they'll go get it.
But Delta took and wouldn't let us have back.
Let's
start a war, shall we?
Yeah. Hey, I've got that mounted proudly above my fireplace. I guess I'll probably have about 24 people breaking into my home tonight looking for that. No, I haven't seen that thing for a long time.
Yeah, it's...
But a nice tradition here with the helmet. And the coaches, obviously, they have a lot of respect for one another. As you mentioned, they're good friends. And they'll congratulate one another at midfield here as the Eagles get the win in this one. Once again, your final. 16-10. Don't go away as we've got our Sunrise Engineering postgame show coming up with all of our stats and a few thoughts about this one and what's coming up for both teams. So hang with us. We'll be back right after this.
Kern River Gas Transmission wishes the Millard Eagles good luck this season and reminds everyone that damage from others digging into a pipeline is one of the main causes of pipeline failures. Never guess where a pipeline is located. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or homeowner, if you plan to dig, call Blue Stakes to make sure all utilities are marked. Call Blue Stakes at 800-662-4111 or the new national 811 number at least 48 hours before digging. Kern River Gas Transmission Company reminds you to call before you dig. It's free. It's the law.
At Lovell Pharmacy in Delta, we put the love in customer service. We do it by offering so much more than just pharmaceutical care. Try our Jackson Hole Soda, BYU Ice Cream, and our cheese curds from Beaver Cheese Plant. For all of your gift-giving needs, from baby showers to birthday presents, shop Lovell Pharmacy. And don't forget our nice, informative, caring staff. Remember, we put the love in customer service at Lovell Pharmacy. Find us at 111 East Main Street in Delta.
Flowell Electric wants their customers to be safe around electricity. And here's a few tips. First, don't use an electrical appliance around water. Another tip is to call Blue Stakes to have utility lines marked before you dig in your yard. And never damage power company equipment because it causes needless power outages, creates safety hazards, and results in higher power rates. Flowell Electric, a proud supporter of Millard High School.
RC Staples has been your family shoe and clothing outlet in Delta since 1995. If you need to outfit an individual, a family, or a missionary, RC Staples is the place. There's luggage, tuxedo rentals, and much more. RC Staples is very conscious of changing styles and fashion trends as they cater to the lifestyle, budget, and tastes of Millard County residents. Hey, RC Staples is both trendy and price conscious. So shop with confidence. That's RC Staples, 261 West Main, Delta.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab high schools. Come visit Delta City, the largest community in Millard County and the surrounding area. Recreational opportunities abound, including camping, hiking, fishing, water skiing on the Gunnison Bend Reservoir, motocross racing, four-wheeling at the dunes, or playing 18 holes of golf on our Jewel of the Desert. Then spend a day experiencing the thrill of finding your own fossils in one of the world's richest deposits of trilobites. Delta is also Utah's gateway into the Great Basin National Park. West Millard County can satisfy all your recreational needs. Delta City.
Legendary NBA coach Phil Jackson once said, "Yes, victory is sweet, but it doesn't necessarily make life any easier the next season or even the next day." We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Make your kids' education a priority. Find out what you can do. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and promoting excellence in education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
So as we wrap things up here on the Sunrise Engineering postgame show, we appreciate Sunrise Engineering serving clients in Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and Arizona for 30 years, promoting athletic and academic excellence. make sure you visit sunrise-eng.com. So again, our thanks to Sunrise Engineering for being with us not only tonight but throughout the year. They are great sponsors. I know you know them well, and they've always been good to make sure the young people are getting their dues.
Super sponsors of Millard High School and in fact, the whole area, but especially Millard High School athletics. Tremendous supporters, tremendous business in the Fillmore, East Millard area.
So if you're a Millard Eagle fan, you go away pretty happy. That 35, 40-minute trip home is going to be a pretty good one tonight.
Well, I think a lot of them will stay here for the dance with the Delta kids, and again, the rivalry and the friendships that exist there. But a lot of them had plans to stay to the Delta dance. Delta inviting Millard to come over, and it's fun for them to see some new people once in a while at the dance, and they have a good time. But I'm sure they're happy, delighted to have not just a game, but the rivalry game under their belt, the first win of the season, and to feel much better than they did at Juab last week, and feel like they're on the right track.
And if you're a Delta Rabbit fan, you kind of lick your wounds a little bit and regroup for next week, we hope.
Well, as I see Delta, I see them in the same position that Millard was last week. Disappointing, a little bit of not knowing what to do in certain situations. And, Delta's going to have to build back from that and regroup, which that's why you play games, is to figure out where you're at.
Absolutely.
Because Delta's schedule will not get a whole lot easier. There's no question about that. They're playing the big boys.
And I was just going to say, we hope you'll hang with us, and if you can make the trip to Emory next week, make it with us. If not, you can watch it on Centricom.com on the live stream. And Millard will head for home for a home game, and they'll start their region play.
Well, I thought it was, but it's the crossover game. So Millard will play Enterprise, I believe, out of the Southern Division. So we have one crossover game, and then we go to region. So it is a home game against Enterprise next Friday night in Fillmore.
So there you go. Real quick, let's take a look at some of the numbers here tonight. First of all, for the Rabbits, kind of tough when you look at overall numbers. 35 rushing attempts for the Rabbits tonight, which is a respectable number to get that many rushing attempts, but 76 yards total, so you're just barely getting over 2 yards per carry. And not going to get it done as far as Delta's concerned. That's just usually, they want to be up 4 or 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, and there have been times when, not to be mean, but there have been times when Delta's gotten 76 rushing yards on one drive.
Yeah.
Sure. But a very, very difficult thing. And you could see the confusion on them out there and not knowing for sure what to do when. So you could see that. That'll get better.
And as far as passing attempts, Delta with 8 attempts, but they were unable to complete any of those passes, and that hurt just a little bit. You got to complete a couple, as you mentioned in the broadcast, to open up that running game a little bit.
Yeah.
So, as far as Millard's concerned, 41 rushing attempts tonight for 150 yards right on the nose, and then Cranny was 8 for 16 for 88 yards. He had the one pick, was all 238 total yards, and that translates to the score you see on the scoreboard, 16-0.
But I think it's interesting there. At one point, Cranny was 4 of 4. And then I think he was 5 of 6.
Yep.
And then all of us, and he completes 1 the rest of the game, or 3 the rest of the game out of all those attempts. So he's got to keep the consistency and keep making the good passes and finding the good reads.
Absolutely. So with that being said, we're going to take another break here on our Sunrise Engineering post-game show. We'll come back with a few more observations and maybe a few scores from around the state. So again, great to have you with us here on our simulcast. We'll be back to Delta High School right after this break.
Tasting notes for the Carl's Jr. Texas Barbecue Thick Burger by Texas race car legend Terry Labonte.
Boy, there's nothing better than a juicy char-broiled burger. But when you pile on fried jalapenos and mouth-watering barbecue brisket, smoked for hours and hours and slathered in mesquite barbecue sauce, you got a Texas winner.
The Texas Barbecue Thick Burger with smoked brisket, mesquite barbecue sauce, and jalapeno straws. New at Carl's Jr. For limited time, available at standard thick burgers.
Roper Lumber in Fillmore is your full-service lumber yard, appliance center, and Ace Hardware store in Millard County. Whether it's a fix-it project, building a shed or addition, or just regular maintenance on the house, the friendly folks at Roper Lumber Ace Hardware are there to help. They also carry a wide selection of Whirlpool appliances, including stainless steel models at incredible prices. For all your hardware and lumber supplies, visit Roper Lumber Ace Hardware, 95 North Main Street in Fillmore.
The Fillmore City Mayor and City Council and staff members are excited about the Millard Eagles this sports season. They'd like to congratulate the Millard High School team members, the coaches, faculty, staff, and student body on a great season and wish them the very best in this year's playoff. The entire city fully supports education and athletics in molding the future leaders of our area. Fillmore City would like all involved to know that they're behind them 100%. Happy to be Millard Eagles Sports Booster. Fillmore City, go Eagles.
Every morning, millions of people skip breakfast. But thanks to McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast, they'll have to find something else to skip, like waiting for the shower to warm up, putting in their contacts. Ow. Or they could just wear that wet towel to work.
Good morning, everyone.
There are options, people, but skipping McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast isn't one of them. So grab a sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin sandwich, premium roast coffee, and more for just $1 each. That's the simple joy of breakfast at McDonald's.
Your Delta McDonald's, a proud supporter of Delta High School sports.
Millard County residents are accustomed to friendly service, quality grocery items, and convenient prices at Dwayne's Food Town in Fillmore. Dwayne's Food Town prides itself on providing the choicest cuts of meat in their meat department, assuring they offer the freshest produce available, and providing the best value on every grocery item in the store. Stop in and discover for yourself the hometown service and attention that you deserve at Dwayne's Food Town, located at 375 South Main in Fillmore. Proud to support the Eagles this year.
Stop in today and experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore. Service Drug is not only your full-service pharmacy, but offers a wide range of books, home decor items, greeting cards, KitchenAid appliances, and so much more. Service Drug is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and also on Saturdays for your convenience. Come see the courteous staff at Service Drug, 215 West Main in Delta and 40 North Main in Fillmore. Experience Service First at Service Drug in Delta and Fillmore.
What's inside your kid? A teacher, an engineer, a musician, an accountant, a doctor, or maybe a scientist. Your kid has what it takes to excel and succeed, but they may not know it. You can help them unlock their potential and find out what's inside. Partner up with their teachers and coaches. Find out what you can do. Just something to think about. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
And the post-game scoreboard is brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, the 2010-2011 winner of the Client Satisfaction Award. See more at sunrise-sng.com, sunriseengineering.com. Probably messed that up, but you know what? Go take a look at
sunrise.eng.
There you go.
-eng.org.
There you go. They are great friends of ours, and they sponsor our post-game show, and right now they're sponsoring our post-game scoreboard and some scores here for you that might surprise you just a little bit.
Lay it on me.
I'm going to lay it on you. And then I'm going to give you a quiz a little bit later, so you kind of remember some of these. Okay. In the 1A South, how about this score? Monticello leading Whitehorse. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, 61-0. We talked about these coaches here being good friends and not running up the score. Wow. 61-0 with the 6 to go in the third. That really could get really ugly further down.
Yes, sometimes there are games that you just basically have to fall down on purpose.
Summit Academy leading Rich 21-20. In fact, that's gone final. That was an overtime score.
Wow.
And Uinta 28, Layton Christian 21, as we look through some of these that might have a little more relevance to us. Beaver in the third quarter leading Kanab 26-9.
That's more what I would have expected.
Cedar in the fourth now, leading Canyon View 42-13.
Wow.
And Carbon looks like they're going to get their second win of the season in the fourth. They lead American Leadership 34-14. Corner Canyon and Springville in the fourth. They are tied up at 21. Cottonwood leads Snow Canyon 27-14. Dixie 27-28. Lehigh leads by 1 as they move to the fourth quarter. A final Enterprise blanks Milford 33-0.
Wow.
And a few more. How about this one? 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Juab leads Ben Lomond 51-20. Still tied up at the half. Judge Memorial and Woodcross 14 apiece. And in the third quarter, Provo right now leads Manti 28-14. At the end of the third quarter, North Sevier 28, Gunnison 7. And here's one. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Duchesne's winning streak is in jeopardy as North Summit leads at 14-12. Parowan at the end of the third leads Diamond Ranch 17-7. San Juan, a final. Piedra Vista, New Mexico. San Juan wins it 35-8. So as we look down through, how about this one? South Sevier falls to Richfield 23-17 in their rivalry game. And Morgan, they defeat South Summit 28-21. Again, that's our post-game scoreboard, brought to you once again by Sunrise Engineering, working to elevate your quality of life. So a little bit of a look there throughout the state. And this one here tonight, not a lot of fireworks, 16-0.
No.
But still the win goes to the Millard Eagles on this round. And both teams now will go back and prepare as they move on down the road. Delta at Emory, and as you mentioned, Millard at home with Enterprise, I believe.
I believe that, yeah, Enterprise.
So with that being said, we're going to take one more break here, and then we'll come back to wrap things up from Delta High School and a few final thoughts from the coach. And we'll see how things go from there. So once again, 16-0 is your final. Back to Delta right after this.
The type of medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive high-quality medicine just like those in big cities. Delta Community Medical Center and Fillmore Community Medical Center both provide the same quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. What they do well. Intermountain's Fillmore Community Medical Center and Delta Community Medical Center. Healing for life.
The Millard County Credit Union offices in Fillmore and Delta want to thank you for your business over the years. Not only will you find amazingly low interest rates, automobile and RV loans, checking, Visa accounts, bill pay, and debit cards, but banking is easier with their e-teller home banking service. Just log on to www.millardccu.com, sign up for their e-teller services, and conveniently manage all your credit union accounts from home. That's the Millard County Credit Union in Delta and Fillmore.
Okay, it's time to pop the top on another canning season, and Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply in Fillmore has you covered. Bottles, lids, pectin, and, well, hey, Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply also has juicers, dehydrators, apple peelers, and more. Okay, let's take the stress and frustration out of your canning season with the proper equipment and supplies from Fillmore Feed and Farm Supply, your local IFA dealer in Fillmore.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
Are you ready for a weekend away? Jorgensen's Honda is the place to start. They carry a full line of RVs to make that trip a lasting memory. With models like Yellowstone, Conquest, Amerilite, and Canyon Trail, you can find the perfect fit. For great fun and comfort, check out the full line of RVs at Jorgensen's Honda. Dennis or Mike can help you out. Stop by today at 980 South Coveview Road in Richfield, or give them a call at 435-896-6408.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
And once again, welcome back to our post-game wrap-up, sponsored by Sunrise Engineering, promoting academic excellence in English, math, and science. So again, alongside Dennis Aldridge, I'm Ken Nielsen as we wrap things up here from an empty stadium as the Millard Eagles win this one 16-0. And if you're Delta, you're back in the locker room and you talk about some good things, hopefully, that you did, and say, we're going to work on some of the bad things, be ready to go next week. And if you're Millard, you celebrate a little bit, and then I'm sure Coach Sheriff will say, okay, time to go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, you celebrate for about 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
But find some positives. But you got to, you can't get a big head because you got some good teams that you're going to have to play close with these guys. Even if you do win one big, whatever, your next test is 1 week away, and you got to be ready for it. And so you build them up, and then you kind of tear them down a little bit and say, yeah, you did great, but here's what we got to work on, and you build back into it. So the wars will be tough on both sides, Delta in the 3AA or whatever that thing is, and Millard in the 2A. It's going to be tough. There's some awfully good teams in both divisions.
Absolutely. Again, our thanks to Centricom Cable TV. They are now in the Delta area as well. As you can get high-speed internet, you can pick up the cable package, and you can watch a lot of games throughout not only the fall but into the winter. As you'll see a lot of different sporting events right on local channel 10, or you can watch it live on local 10.tv. You can watch the live streams, and we appreciate KMGR Radio as well, allowing us to carry these games. We hope you've enjoyed the simulcast here tonight. And Dennis, it has absolutely been a pleasure working with you. It's always fun to hang with you, whether it's at meetings we're at somewhere in the district.
This is more pleasurable in those meetings, but don't tell the superintendent I said that.
Absolutely. In fact, we ought to remind everybody, obviously Monday, no school for Labor Day. We hope everybody gets to go out and have a safe holiday experience wherever you may be. And then Tuesday, the students get a break again, and you and I, we get to go back to work.
Oh.
I'm not sure how that come out, but we're back to work. But again, reminder, students, no school on Tuesday because of the PLC training for all the teachers and the staff throughout the district. So, again, enjoy your holiday week. Again, our thanks to the people that make this all possible, the fine people, once again at KMGR, also at Centricom. And our thanks to Nate Palmer. He's our producer-engineer here in the booth tonight, keeping us straight. He does a lot of work there. Keeping us going on and off the air at the right time with all the replays. It's fun to have him here with us, and of course his lovely daughter Allie, who's been running the camera as well. That's not an easy thing to do up here in the booth, so our thanks to those folks. So again, your final here from Delta High School. It's a 16-0 win for the Millard Eagles. We invite you to join us for both